beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh! Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1239. We got Billy the Fridge and Matt Jarbo. Matt, did you?
What up?
You've completely dropped the mundane Matt thing, right?
It's fucking dead.
It's dead.
It's dead. It's deader than Ethan and Ralph's marriages. It's deader than most likely his career. It's deader than probably him in about 6 months.
Oh, shit.
I did hear, I wasn't even going to talk about this tonight because I didn't look into it, but I heard like he leaked another set of revenge porn on his most recent ex-wife.
I mean, I've been gone for like the last 10 days, right? I've been in Alaska. And so like as I'm on the ship, I have the internet, which is like the stupidest thing, right? But I'm looking on the web and I start seeing all this shit with Ethan popping up again, including these images of his wife, of his ex. And it's like, come on. And then did you see the audio, the recording that dropped yesterday?
No. I only saw
a
tweet about him leaking it, and that's it.
No, there's a proxy war happening from like her dad to Ethan, right? So just like Faith and Matthew Vickers versus Ethan, it's really just the dads versus this boy. Wow. And so Amanda had this 2.5 minute audio recording of Ralph drunker than shit, like threatening to kill her.
By the way, people are complaining about the audio, so the audio is going to go silent just for a minute while I fix it. It's on my end. I'll fix it. It'll just take. All right, we're back. Everything should be better.
Trying to be a sweet boy, but it's hard these days.
You've lost a lot of weight. I wanted to comment on that. You look fantastic, sir.
I am pretty. I need to lose so much more though. I remember I used to have big ass jowls, so I think when everybody sees me, they think that I'm like super small, but I'm still in like the mid 400s.
He had some health issues and he's had to change his diet a lot, and he spent like a whole week in the hospital eating the hospital food, and he's had to completely change the way he eats. So that's contributed to his weight loss too.
Well, that makes all the sense in the world. That's the thing with losing all the weight in your face. People just think you have cancer.
Yeah.
There's what's that? Like, you lost all that weight. Is it did you exercise or is it chemo?
Yeah, people worry that it's either cancer or drugs. They're like, what are you doing, Billy?
It's both.
Are you on,
if you're on the
meth?
Yeah, then you know what? Be a spokesperson for it. Just go listen, folks, I'm on the meth. I've lost the weight, but I'm
coming out.
I mean, I thought about starting meth just to drop some weight, get into my Beachbody ready season.
People literally.
It's Washington, you guys know how it is.
Well, that's, Adderall is basically meth. So if you got an Adderall prescription, it does help you lose weight. So
when I was a kid, I had multiple different family members trying to get me to do crack or meth to lose weight.
My stepdad just tried guilt. It didn't work.
It didn't work either.
A lot of people are doing the Ozempic.
My family.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. It helps if you stick to it. It makes you not want to eat, and then you forget you don't want to eat. But it's supposed to fix a lot of things too. People have had shown signs of quitting smoking under the Ozempic and everything.
But it's supposed to just help. It was created to help with the beatus, right?
Yeah, I think it helps dissuade cravings.
For the diabetes, and then everyone started taking it for weight loss, because I'm on metformin for diabetes, and but that helps out with some weight loss and keeping the weight regulated. So it's really just about exercise and diet, and like I said, I spent 10 days on a cruise ship that was 3 hots and a cot, right?
Yeah.
You're eating all the time. You're just all like, fuck, like I'm just hungry. I don't even know why. Then I look at my pedometer and it's like, oh, I've done 20,000 steps today.
A little known fact about most cruise ships is that when they give you your dinner options, it's usually like 3 courses. You can say yes to all 3 of them and eat all 3 of them if you want to.
Oh, see, I never.
Flocka Possum back.
Kids.
Welcome back.
Possum. Young Flocka. Yeah, the cruises, everything I've heard about cruises is just complete indulgence.
There was a 24-hour buffet. Like if I woke up at 3 in the morning, there was a buffet I could eat from.
That wasn't on mine.
Okay.
I mean, like this one was a princess cruise out of Vancouver. So it's mostly old people. And
mine was a princess cruise from San Diego through the Mexican Riviera.
Oh, nice.
Years ago, like over 10 years ago.
They might have done it. Like, COVID kind of fucked a lot of that up, but there was a lot that you could have done recently where, like, you know, you could get a buffet pretty late or get food pretty late. Now it's just like pizza and ice cream. And, you know, fuck it. After like 9 p.m., all you want is pizza and ice cream anyway.
Yeah,
like,
because you're drunk.
You know?
I want to go on one of the cruises that go to Japan. I want to cruise to Japan.
We were looking at a 32-dayer to go down to Fiji. And because they get, you know, you go to all these events when you're on the boat and they're just like, oh, here's some of these other cruises you can go on. And I'm all like, yeah, how much does that cost? Oh, no, I'm good, dog. Thanks.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, you'd be at sea a long time to go to Japan, and it would take a while. Just like it would be fun because it'd be cool to be like in the middle of the ocean like that. But I don't know how much time you'd get. You'd probably be at sea longer than you'd be in Japan. So a place that far away, I would just fly. But you know,
yeah. I mean, like for Hawaii, for example, if you were to leave out of Vancouver, it's 5 days there. You get 4 days around the island, and then it's 5 days back. So really, I was talking with a cruise director, and she's like, if you're gonna do Hawaii, just fucking fly. Like, go there, get on the boat, do the 4 days around and the 5 days back, and you're good. Otherwise, it's just like there's really no point.
I plan on being independently wealthy very soon, so I'm gonna take a cruise to Japan.
If it takes 5 days
to sell out finally,
if it takes 5 days to get to Hawaii, God, it must take like 7 to 8 days to get to Japan on a cruise ship.
They can go. I mean, like you don't really feel it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
You don't feel it. Like you're on there and you're like, we were on there for 10 days, 10, 11 days. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be so long. Midway through, I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it a little bit. We get home yesterday. Today, my girlfriend goes, like, does it feel like we were even on a cruise? I'm like, no, just we're home.
When I got home, because I was on for like 5 or 6 days. When I got home and I was sitting at my desk at work, I still felt like I was moving on the boat.
Yeah.
Like you keep your sea legs after you gain them, you keep them on land, and it feels like the solid earth is swaying back and forth. It's so crazy.
Well, I was playing Starfield last night. I had that happen while I was playing Starfield. I'm like, motherfucker.
How could you deal with having to choose your pronouns at the beginning?
I figured, you know what, man, I was just gonna go with the way that God made me and just randomize it. You know, just fucking like I was gonna go they them just to take a picture of it and be like, fuck you. But I'm like, I don't care enough to actually like yell about it and take on the form of a Mr. Human Potato. You know, it's just not the thing I need to do.
Let's check out this. Here's a video Eric July made recently. It's called "How I'm Feeling." Have you seen this? How he's feeling.
How I'm feeling.
I think he's not feeling well, to be honest with you, but I haven't seen this now.
Let's see what he says.
What is up, everybody? Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the future, the Rippaverse, everything that we have going. 2 multi-million-dollar campaigns back to back, by the way, within a year and some change. And we're sitting on a lot of unannounced projects. We're going to continue to grow. And we're already expanding this team, not just with art and writing and all the creative stuff that we'll be coming out with. We're also expanding with the warehouse because, you know, it's like 2 different businesses, 3 or 4 actually. But you like, you know, distribution and shipping.
Yeah, and there are other businesses that can handle that for you so you don't have to run multiple businesses and you don't have to be a warehouse manager. But he just likes the image of having the warehouse, right?
Yeah.
The warehouse sounds like the name of like Castle Grayskull for a werewolf. It's the warehouse. That could explain all the fur and why he dresses like Teen Wolf.
Is that like the only way a libertarian can come is just like, I have to own a business, but it has to be brick and mortar.
Yes.
That makes sense. A lot of libertarians do kind of mimic themselves after Michael J. Fox characters. I've noticed there's a lot of Marty McFlys. Was it
Alex P. Keaton is that
Alex P. Keaton? Yeah, there's a lot of Alex P. Keaton libertarians. There's a few Doc Hollywood libertarians.
What about the guy from Spin? His character in Spin City.
Oh yeah, those are that's Glenn Jacobs libertarian who's Spin City.
The mayor.
We have those teams need to grow as well, definitely, so I can kind of get up out of the warehouse. And really, it's just been cool watching it.
He acts like he's working in the warehouse all day when all he does is sit on Twitter from the warehouse.
Yeah. What I wonder though is when I was in San Diego, I was working for a film studio, and it was a warehouse that we converted into a film studio, but there were production offices that were rented out by other local filmmakers. And I'm wondering if that's what he's doing. Of course, I mean, it's a very particular question, but I don't know. I'm trying to make it seem to make sense in my brain.
Expand. We've hired some guys that are doing basic warehouse stuff, shipping stuff, but even like with just like the security of the warehouse and different avenues there. And everybody seems to be very appreciative of what we have here. And they actually got skin in the game. And this is why I said in the previous video, I move a little differently now, because it's not just me and a couple of people. It's the Rippaverse, which there's a lot of people whose livelihoods are dependent on the success of this company. So I take that seriously, and it's a way that I maneuver. The way I move is just a little different. But I am thankful. I'm very appreciative of every single customer, each and every one of you. And we have Alpha Core that is coming.
Could you imagine if he tanks all of these people's careers because he can't not fight with fucking Dick Masterson and Vito? And all this ends up taking him down the same way young Maddox got taken down. Actually, I take it back. Justin Wang was the one that took down Maddox, wasn't he?
I have no comment on that one.
Oh yeah, good to see you, Matt. Love to have you on the show.
Yeah, Matt's pro Maddox.
No, I'm friends with Maddox.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Maddox. I like Justin, and I've hung out with Justin, and I got no fucking skin in that fight. So.
No, and I appreciate that. Maddox was always really cool to me, so it's hard for me to dig too deep into him.
I'm friends with Maddox.
At 3,000.
But I mean, I'm really close with Justin. Justin and we touch dicks. We fill up jars together. Like we're besties.
Fill up jars?
Yeah. Here's the thing though. Unless you're docking, you're really not that close, Billy. Okay. Because at that point, you're kind of in him.
Then call me Doc Hollywood.
Or so orders that we need to get fulfilled. We'll get those out the way, but we got also our preparing assets for Alpha Core, and those are almost finished. We're going to submit that to the printer. Very
why does he tell us this stuff that's obvious? Why doesn't he talk to us about the Rippaverse and like what we can expect coming down the pipeline and characters and plot lines and art and that? Why is it always like bitching about detractors and then telling us what they're doing in the warehouse? Why is that all we ever hear about?
I have a feeling it's because he wants to keep the focus on the money and not the focus on the story. Because the story is shit. Let's be fucking real. That story is bad. Chat GPT can write a better fucking script than goddamn Eric July. It's terrible. It's cliched, it's stereotyped. Clearly first year writing school type shit. But no, this case, it's like he goes, we've got the multi-million-dollar campaign back to back. We've got the warehouse. Notice how he said, we've got security.
Yep.
For the warehouse.
Yep.
Like, who the fuck is going to break in to steal 87,000 unsold copies of ISM #1? Not a fucking idiot out there.
He's more concerned with people coming to shave his shoulders at his warehouse. That's why he has the security.
He wants another multi-million-dollar campaign. That's what he's got to do. He's got to let someone shave the shoulders
yeah.
and the beard.
Who knows what the rest of the area is like? Maybe he does need security in that area. We don't know for sure.
Dallas, look, here's the thing. Dallas is a big place. You've got like Dallas, Fort Worth. I think Arlington's right there. You've got Watauga, a bunch of it's a whole bunch of little cities in this area. And some areas are better than others, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be in an area that's got a high crime score.
Oh, there's there's a pretty dense crime score there. We'll see though.
If Egghead can survive it, Eric July can survive it.
Has Egghead survived it?
Yes.
I'm not convinced Egghead has survived.
How are you not convinced of it? We see him all the time. He'd be like, "Oh, golly, guys, I got mugged the other day." He would tell everyone about
constant
that.
Distress. He's in constant
not over
distress.
Dallas.
I hope not.
You know not.
Going right into the fall. Chuck Dixon, Joe Bennett. You're gonna enjoy that book. As far as the elephant in the room, this whole lawsuit, nothing's changed. We have not been sued yet.
He called Vito an elephant.
Nobody's been served.
He was sued. I like how he's like, "We haven't been sued yet." Yes, you've been sued, but you haven't been served yet because they sent you a letter to try and work it out first.
Yeah.
But the lawsuit has been filed.
We're having those discussions, and there will be a time in the future where I can actually talk about it more thoroughly. Like I said, there's nothing to worry, and once we get to have those discussions,
There'll be a
you'll see
time
why.
in the future when I can
As
actually
far as
talk
when I
about
can have-
it. Until then, I'm gonna blame Vito.
One thing I did notice though is that when he switched gears to talking about the lawsuit, his body language changed. Right. If you look at his shoulders now, they're very rounded. They're
And
shrunken.
hairy.
They're down. And well, yes, outside of the hair. If once you move past the Chewbacca and look at the man, you can see, but he's literally like his hands are in his lap, and you can tell that this shit's literally impacting him. And I'm not trying to pull that bullshit like fucking, whatever stupid ass Fox show that was, Lie to Me or whatever. But you can really tell that when he shifted, though, there was a lack of confidence there. Like his shoulders dropped, and he kind of changed his approach.
Matt, you signed yourself a check that your ass may not be able to cash. All night tonight, when I see somebody new, I'm going to ask you to read their body language.
Do it, motherfucker. Do it. No, I'll tell you. So here's the I'm on the cruise ship, right? I'm talking with a cruise director, assistant cruise director, who's this woman. She loves true crime. And I asked her, what's your favorite kind of true crime? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, let me guess. You really like stories about sexual assault and rape. And she was kind of soft, and she's like, yeah. How did you know that? And I'm like, it's all psychology. Women love stories in true crime about sex assault and rape because it's safe danger. And I explained it to her, and she's like, I never thought of that before. And I'm like, it's just easy.
It's the same way. It's the same way guys like gangster movies and stuff, shoot 'em up movies and all that shit.
Car crash movies.
Men are into the violence, and men are into the perpetrators of violence, and women are into being perpetrated violently.
Well,
and
maybe that's why the sexploitation era of film did so well, because it had both of those components.
Something for everybody.
Yeah.
Just a little something.
Right? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
The crazy thing I've heard about women and their sexual assault stories is like the last 5 or so minutes where the resolution happens and it shows the person getting caught are like the least watched parts of the episodes. Like they turn them off before they see the guy get his comeuppance because it doesn't turn them on. It's like, oh, the story's over.
You mean like
it's kind of like it's like if you look at porn, like on Pornhub, and you can see that what's the most replayed parts, right? It's like never the money shot.
Yeah.
It's always like there's a climax, usually one party, not the other. And then at the end of that, there like no one stays around to watch the cleanup.
I've noticed in a lot of my videos, the scenes where I'm naked have huge spikes in views. It's sick.
I mean, nature documentaries are fucking popular.
Quick call to action. Everyone, please like the stream if you haven't already. It helps get more people here to watch it. Also, I'm going to put something on the table here.
Look, I'm going to flag somebody live. Okay? I'm just gonna flag
and collect boulders.
I'm gonna flag them live, and I'm gonna lob boulders, and this is a once in a lifetime experience.
Well, before
5 years boulder.
Before we started the stream, when you said you had to go to the bathroom, we were like, "Oh, he's pushing out boulders in the bathroom."
Oh, I took a shit. Yeah, dude, I have 11 days of fucking cruise food in me. It's coming out.
So, quick thing here. Every $50, because we got to get this goal moving. We're only at $45. The last show was not so good. So I'm going to do the thing I usually do. For every $50 level, I'm going to do a shot. We're already like $5 away from the first one. And then once we get over 10%, I'm going to do a shot and a zap each time, because that seems to get things rolling here. And I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can check that
zap?
out. We have an electric
collar.
Yeah, we have a dog, like a. I would never use it on a dog, but that's what it's made for, and it's kind of brutal. Um,
there you go.
One time we had Repsion and his currently ex-girlfriend on, and we put it on him and gave her the remote, and she was smiling so big the whole time she was zapping the shit out of him.
Oh, you're talking about Maya?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in like almost 4 years. The last time I saw Repsion is we saw Rise of Skywalker together up in Auburn, and she was there, and they were normal, and then like she went crazy, and I don't even know.
They broke up, and it didn't go too good, which I've avoided talking about. I don't even want to talk about it.
I love to hear you say up in Auburn, because like to me Auburn is down.
Well, I live in Olympia, so
I know, but it shows us how close we are, yet how far away we are.
True.
It's cute.
We don't hang out enough. It's been a while since I've seen you guys.
Have I seen you? Have I ever seen you in Washington State? I can't remember.
Yeah, didn't he come in to the studio? Remember?
I did.
Okay, yes.
When it was in that apartment.
Ooh, I was like, hold up.
That was a long time ago.
That's when the Indiana Jones thing happened.
We're usually VidCon buds.
It was.
Oh, can I ask you? Can I ask you a question
about Indiana Jones?
I know what you're gonna ask me.
Are you sure?
I have a feeling. I get it. Yeah.
You bunked with Quentin Reviews at VidCon, right?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Was he a good guy to you?
Yeah, he was nice.
Okay. We gave you a lot of shit that weekend for asking everybody to quiet down. Was it him asking you to ask us to quiet down?
No,
it was you.
It was me asking on his behalf, because he was visibly still awake and everything else. I can sleep through just about whatever. So yeah, I did. Like, I heard him awake and I just rolled over and I think I text like the group DM or something. And then I just hear everyone out there just start fucking talking shit. And I'm in bed going, God damn it. Right? Everyone's like, shh, Matt's got YouTube school in the morning.
So Matt,
we were such pricks.
So Matt, you don't remember our discussion about Indiana Jones?
It's been a while.
You said,
I remember like,
you said my favorite Indiana Jones movie is The Last Crusade, but my favorite movie is The Temple of Doom.
No. My favorite movie is Raiders.
Okay.
All-time favorite movie. My favorite Indiana Jones movie is Temple of Doom.
Okay.
And that still maintains today.
That didn't change with the new one that came out?
Dude, the new one is a sequel to Temple of Doom. Are you fucking kidding me? I feel seen. Are you kidding me? Like, I was watching Dial of Destiny and I'm like, temple. I'm welling up with tears and shit, man.
So you loved it?
I love that goddamn movie. I love that goddamn movie, man. I'm like, when it ends, I'm in the parking lot just going like, gotta fucking do something, man. Fuck. I was getting teary-eyed and shit. I love Dial of Destiny. It was so good.
That's good to hear.
I
had fun with it. Like, I went in and I was a little worried because, there'd been all like the weeks upon weeks of negative press or whatever. And then I got lost in it like I do with every one of those movies and shit. And so I dug the hell out of it.
Nice. I thought it was a little bit like too little too late for me. But
Sure.
It could just be I was never a huge Indiana fan. I grew up on it like most children of the 80s did. It was like one of the only cool things. Same thing with Star Wars. So, but I wasn't mad at it. I was like, I don't know. Do we need this? But hearing your response, yes, we needed it. If Monday Matt loves it, then we need it. If only some people love it, it's fine. I don't have to love it.
Do you guys remember, Ben, you might remember, Billy, you weren't around for this, I don't think, but back in 2015, I did a video defending my love of Adam Sandler movies, and I lost like 300 subs in a day.
Was the last time you saw these guys when Pimp Monk farted on you at the hotel?
Did he fart on me? That would probably be a very Pimp Monk thing.
He might.
That's okay. I slept in the bed. He slept on the floor, so that's fine. That's fine. You had me and Rhino in the bed, and then Pimp Monk was just like relegated to where he's usually living, which is on the floor.
We had something similar to that because we had a hotel and it was me and Billy and Pimp Monk, and we had Barbara in there too. And Barbara was sleeping on the floor. Pimp Monk was like sleeping in a chair, and me and Billy we each had our own bed. And Pimp Monk went over to the air conditioner and farted into it, and it just like traveled across the room. And
he was like, "That's for you, Billy. That's for you messing with me all the time, Billy." And I was like, "Dude, you're gonna kill Barbara. She's a vegan. She can't have that byproduct in her fucking breathing capacity.
Good old VidCon stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pimp
Yeah.
Monk and his farts. Quality.
Let me ask you guys this: would you ever? Because I don't ever intend on going back to VidCon. Like, are you guys ever going again?
I probably would. Last time I got freaking COVID, and I ended up spending 3 days in my hotel room, almost diarrheaing myself to death.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm not going out of my way to go there or anything.
Yeah, it's like if I'm in the area, like the last time I was there, which was 2019, I did VidCon and then Disneyland and then Comic-Con. So I was able to plan those days to cover everything.
Oh yeah.
And then I had my second kid, and it's just like now I just go on cruises.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had kids, I would have to exploit them for YouTube views, and then they could get like signed up for VidCon passes.
Yeah.
I would
Did
use
you hear
them.
about that fucking family in
Cheers, by the
Utah
way.
and shit? Cheers,
Which
you took a
one?
shot. Yeah. Well, there was like a YouTuber with like 8 kids. She's like one of those like mommy YouTubers or whatever. And like one of the kids like escaped and like was found emaciated, and then she just got arrested for it. And it's like every fucking time, dude. It's always one of these families with like 18 million kids that just exploit their children. And yet, like for some reason, everyone's like, I just love them that they're,
See, that's why I would, if I was exploiting my kids for YouTube views, I would like make them be like Nikocado Avocado mukbang kids. That way they wouldn't be emaciated, right?
Yeah.
I would make
They'd
sure
just
they
be
were
fat.
overeating. Yeah, just fat little balls, little pillow babies.
Let's
so cute.
We'll get back into the
Up about stuff and somebody saying, well, you know, hey, we cool, right? We no, like it ain't all good when it's not all good. And let's just be honest, there it's really all. We're not gonna just pretend that type of stuff away. And it's been interesting.
Is he acting out the cop from ISOM?
Fly to the Barbara.
Fly to the Barbara.
Yeah, because like every character in ISOM just sounds like it's him. Like even the little girl and everything. It just
In the
sounds
very
like
beginning,
Eric
the
July.
cops were talking and using like ebonics.
That's what I said. I said, is he
Like
right
the
now
very
acting out
opening
the
scene.
part of the cop from ISOM?
Seeing people operate the way that they have, like I haven't seen it. And I have seen it, and I'm going to just start acting accordingly. But there have some people that have rocked with me, that have always rocked with me. You know, the whole Friday Night Tights crew, Gary,
Gary,
you know,
Gary!
Jeremy, Ryan, everybody that I know I'm missing names, and I apologize for that. That's why I didn't want to start naming names, at least there. But all the people that have been supportive, CG Crowd, everybody that's been very supportive, that have been like in the creative space, I do thoroughly appreciate everything it is that you've done, because there's been a lot of weird
It's
stuff.
nice. It's nice when you can name off 12 people who supported you. You shouldn't have to name off people who supported you.
They haven't
you should
read
have
it.
an overwhelming amount of support where you could never name them off. The fact that he's only got 12 people and could talk to them by name, dropping Jeremy and Gary and thanking them personally, kind of embarrassing.
Well, the thing with the Friday Night Tights guys, though, is like they ran hard for ISOM. Like when that campaign came out, they ran hard for it. They're just like, this is going to destroy Marvel, destroy woke DC, and they would like literally just keep coming up with all these videos and all this shit. It was very much a very circular environment. And so they kept it close to the close in house.
Celestial Warlock for Jesus was a better idea.
I
None of
agree.
us said so.
Thank you very much.
Is there a comic book character called the Celesbian that's like a celestial lesbian?
No.
Not yet, Billy.
Okay, then is there an international school of ministry called the Celesbians? Because I need to trademark this if it isn't.
Happened over the last, really for a while. It's just that it kind of crossed the
Imagine
line.
only
Let's say,
having 10 fans and not knowing all their names.
I know
Hey,
the
fuck
names
you,
of
Eric.
all 10 of our fans.
I know the names of our fans only when they're donating. Any other time, who are you?
$30 more
I know the
until the
names
next
of all
drink.
10 people who watch the Mundane Matt channel, because that's all that's left.
How many people have I seen say bring back $3 theater though?
It's still around.
Yeah, he still
Damn
does
it, you
$3
guys get on
theater.
top of your
I
shit.
do. I
does.
do a night show called Hollywood After Dark. I'm going live in a couple hours on that. Like
Yeah.
most nights.
went
I
into
check
a
that out every now and then when I'm actually sitting at my computer free. I sit in and watch you. I enjoy it.
little different area as of recent, and I appreciate those that are just calling it for what it is. You know, I have my videos where I've talked.
I like how there have been lawyers that have looked at this, not just Ricada, but like lawyers who aren't like online people, and they were like, you can't dismiss a lawsuit because of quote unquote gay ops. The judge is going to be like, what? You know,
Your Honor, this is gay ops.
Yeah.
What is gay ops?
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is gay ops.
Yeah.
What is gay ops? I said this, Your Honor.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how many of the Rippaverse like defenders / fanboys you've dealt with, Matt. I don't know how many you've seen.
Not many. I've seen a bunch, but it's mostly just like I tend to piss off the Fandom Menace people really well. And like, so if there's something that can overlap with that, I'll find a way to make it work. But like that whole pronoun debate, like all I said was they're pretty thin skinned, and heel versus babyface was like, oh, here comes the fuck boys chasing cloud again. And I'm like, all I said is you're thin skinned. All right. We're not talking about your hair. Okay. Just fuck off. Like, it's just, this guy is like, this is the thing. I've noticed this mild, legit criticism will get under their skin greater than anything else.
Yeah,
so if you just keep it calm and you just point out those little facts, they have no real defense. It's great.
Call of booty, gay ops.
Yeah, and we'll give you a little taste of it because they're basically defending Eric July as its own genre of content now.
I think that might actually be the entire content that Eric July puts out is reasons for him to be defended.
Yeah.
Like, sure, there's 2 comic books, but the majority of people that support Eric July are doing so to defend him from the detractors.
Yeah, there's Rippaverse goalposts, and they put out
that fucking guy.
Yeah, they put out a monthly video. Sometimes they'll pop into our chat and actually talk to us. It's weird, but
that's the homie.
Yeah.
Is this Rippa?
Let's go over the highlights
Mike?
of the month of August.
Party car?
Starting on August 1st, we have Mike, a Rippaverse critic. I know I titled the video with Rippaverse haters, but I gotta include this one, even though Mike is not a hater, because he does behave like a hater sometimes. He made a short video expressing disappointment in the announcement of Deborah as the Yaira #1 artist.
Yaira.
He was not impressed with Deborah's early art,
Yaira.
and for some reason did not compare it to her current art. This was an odd complaint.
It's like, wow, they pick apart literally everything. They can't be like, oh, well, you know, I like it. You know, whatever.
Like,
it's like they're so insecure.
Well, you know, he's not a hater. He's just showing some haterish tendencies by critiquing this art.
That's why it's a cult. Can't ever question it.
He has a habit of nitpicking small details and obsessing over things. Then an actual hater says, once the reviews are in for ISOM #2, the next couple releases are going to perform poorly. Eric's arrogance and inability to take valid criticism will be his undoing. I'll be sure to laugh at the insufferable fans of this trash when it all goes up in flames. Well, the reviews have been great so far. Fans are loving the story and art. Josh Friedmaster
I
got
just
locked.
can't wait for them to lose the lawsuit, the ISOM lawsuit.
Oh my
so
God.
all these people who bought comic 1 and 2 can be like, oh yes, big move. We've got collector's items now. These are collector's items.
They will do that.
They will be reprinted without the ISOM name. These are going to go so big through the roof on eBay one day. I'm so excited.
You know,
Hi,
HD
Matt.
DVDs are
Great
still for
to see
sale on
you
eBay too.
What's your thoughts on the more louder voices of the Fandom Menace, like Doomcock or Midnight Sage?
Oh my God.
Doomcock or Midnight Sage?
Midnight's Edge. I used to roll with Midnight's Edge back in the day, actually. Like they were homie. Yeah, man. They were homie. They were cool. They weren't into this fucking culture war shit. It wasn't until like after The Last Jedi and they started like figuring out, like, it was really Star Trek Discovery that like did it.
Oh God.
All they would do is shit on it. Like, look, I thought it was okay. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but I went in there and I'm like, you know, for people who say that they don't have CBS All Access, y'all seem to watch this show every single week.
Yeah,
I
didn't like the
fuck out.
My criticisms of it had nothing to do with like racial inclusivity or anything like that. It was just like I didn't like that they made the Klingons blue and made them look totally different, and I didn't really like the storyline in general.
Sure.
Yeah.
I only watched the first like 7 episodes, like the first mid-season break or whatever, and then like I just got busy and forgot to go back to it. And I haven't seen anything since then. Star Trek is like, I like a movie. I'll see a movie, but like TV shows are a bit harder for me to get into. As for like Midnight's Edge, they're all they are. They're clown shoes at this point. They're just clown shoes. You can listen to them. It's like, it's the same bullshit everyone else says. They're just trying to keep on with the same crowd everyone else is, because that's where they make their money, and that's where they've always made their money, and they don't want to lose it. And so when you get someone like Doomcock, the funniest goddamn thing about Doomcock is he legitimately a couple years ago got fucking played. Someone planted fake scoops in 4chan specifically aimed at him, and he took the bait and got busted for it. And that's roughly around the time when Gary and Doomcock stopped being friends, because they were doing like a weekly paranormal podcast or whatever, and they were always on each other's streams. And then after that, like Doomcock just faded away. And now he's dealing with motherfuckers that legitimately talk about like obsidian mirrors and using remote viewings to look into Kathleen Kennedy's office, which I covered that on the show one night. We found a stream of them talking about that. And you're like, these are the people that like all of these idiotic knuckle dragging incels are just like, yeah, you all have the tea on what's going on with Star Wars. Like, no, you fucking don't. They're all idiots. But it's all confirmation bias. And it's just people who want to believe that like all of this shit's terrible. And it's like, I think I figured out why. It's like, look at boomers, right? Boomers who are in control now. They're like, we want to go back to this fictionalized Leave It to Beaver, Pleasantville bullshit from 1950s that never existed, and live in that world because that was our childhood that we believed that it was. That's what they want to go back to. Millennials that are getting up there now are holding tight to the very similar aspects, but to culture from the 90s and 80s and maybe some of the late 70s, because they're also totally fucked, you know, like just in regards to buying property and for having any kind of assets and whatever.
Seen in Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. Love answer.
I've heard it's really good.
Captain Pike has strong dad energy.
I watched it a little, and it's good. I'm just wondering why all the good stuff is like a prequel and why new stuff can't be good.
I think they're stuck in the same boat that Star Wars is, to be honest with you. So, I mean, and I like Star Wars. I like where it's at. I think it's in a good space.
Yeah, but I think Star Wars is better as a series like The Mandalorian than it is with film for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, I think looking back at things, it's easier to fill in the blanks of the past, but without hashing out where the future will go. I think we'll get into the future at some point, but they have to really plan that out and not fuck it up.
Well,
with the past, there's some. Yeah, they did. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's The Last Jedi. It's still a thing.
I really thought they were gonna save. I thought The Last Jedi was secretly brilliant until the third one came out, and I was like, oh, this is bad. This is horrid.
I wanted to see what he said about us here.
18th, Riley's girlfriend appears on the Drunken Peasants podcast while wearing the Clipiverse sweater. Riley and her are a detractor couple. Matthew says, Eric July is the worst thing for the indie
Oh, is that it? Is that it?
They were a detractor couple.
He kind of avoids even mentioning us.
Well, because he knows we know his gimmick. We know he's stirring shit up. Ripiverse Goalpost is literally a troll trolling Eric July.
I don't know
puffs
about
the
that.
detractors up and gets Eric to respond to these fucking weenies. And Eric doesn't want to respond to a lot of people. So he doesn't want, he knows we're too scathingly observant. He can't call us out. Because we'll destroy this little fucking scheme he's got going.
Well, one of the guys that rolls with them is this dude named Robert Meyer Burnett. And he's been around for years, actually in the industry, like usually behind the scenes stuff, big friends with Bryan Singer. And so I called him out a while back because he's friends with these assholes, you know, and I'm all like,
with Bryan Singer?
No, that's a whole other fucking bad, right? But like, what I don't understand is if you are a person who lives in LA, works in the industry, dedicated your whole life to this art form, and yet you're rolling around hanging out with people who do nothing but shit on your friends and the content that they make. And yet you want to act like it's all good. That's all, everyone's all Gucci. I find that to be wildly hypocritical. And it's everything to do with the fact that at this point, I think with Robert Meyer Burnett, that he doesn't have anything going on and he's just desperate to stay relevant and to keep some of that YouTube money coming on in, which is why he's, you know, saddling up with these other a-holes. I got into with him the other day and about, I guess, a debate. Somebody wants us to debate. I invited him on my show. He denied, and then he wants $5,000 to come on right now.
Oh wow! Can we
don't know what the topic is?
Can we start a Go Fuck Me to get him on?
I'm sure. I guess like he's like, I'll come on for $5,000 and I'll give you an outline of what I want to talk about. And I'm like, what kind of fucking simp bitch wants me to pay $5,000 for a conversation that I don't even know what you want to have? But this is what they do. They don't have any answers for any criticism like Eric does.
Yeah. Check out this guy. His name's Renowned Zero, but we call him Sturgis.
Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero, and we're back again talking about some more Riververse detractors. Of course, we're going to include Buster Baxter, of course.
They call Dick Masterson Buster Baxter, but he likes it and laughs at it, so it's like...
conversation as he tries to stick his head out, of course, trying to put himself as part of the whole Starfield controversy over the pronouns, and trying to make fun of Az, which Az is just going to look at you and laugh and see how irrelevant you truly are, and... yeah,
this is the argument he always makes. He's like, well, you're irrelevant. It's like, well, you're more irrelevant, so why even bring that up? But he's
what I'm more interested in is the fact that it looks like he's modeling his hair and beard to become a real-life Moon Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just going to keep breaking in the people who ultimately agree with him on his rant and everything he says in it, because people are just sick and tired of all the nonsense and the ideology.
Pimp Monks in the chat. What's up, King Beard?
Wow. We were talking about him earlier too. He just came out of nowhere.
What up, Pimp?
Like an RKO.
Of entertainment, which is what the full context of what Az was talking about. Which it happened after he had that clip where he saw the chick who was a clone of a man. He made that rant. He obviously likes Starfield, but all in all, he's allowed to call out the nonsense and put his opinion out there. But of course, big YouTubers think it's weird that he's doing that. But I'll get into that in another video. I'll probably
not weird. Nitpicky, petty, the crybaby, snowflakey. There's all these words that you wanted to call the left, and somehow y'all started wearing the moniker louder and prouder than the purple hairs. It's kind of embarrassing.
Pendulum always swings back the other direction.
Right?
Tomorrow.
Shit.
Of course, you can still get your Riververse merch.
His computer always does that during his videos. Doo-doo-doo-doo. It's like an update or something.
Guys, Riververse hoodies that you can
the
pre-order.
Sound it downloads every time one of his illegal torrents finish.
Box posters, the comic itself, shirts and hats. So we'll move over to Buster Baxter himself, who
this
says...
dude's read about pronouns in Starfield, and here I am in Baldur's Gate 3 changing around the genitals.
Like, there's so much more to get angry about in Baldur's Gate 3. Like, I guess these guys just aren't hip enough to play the superior genital game.
Well, it's like I saw one of Sargon's lackeys try to make the claim that Anita won, and my response was, look, I can fuck a Mind Flayer in Baldur's Gate 3. Anita won nothing.
Right?
You can fuck, like, you know, it's just, yeah, you're right. It's all the same cranhead SJW fucking left-wing nonsense that these guys are just regurgitating now because they don't have any valid arguments to make.
The psycho thing is that everything these guys want or say they want is out there, and they can find it and they can live it and they can enjoy it, but they don't actually want what they say they want. They want to complain about what they think it is. They want to create the boogeyman so they can get this big cloud of anger behind all these angry little dumbasses. And if they were just a better people, they'd be like, hey, check this out. This is a game that we would love to play. Let's play it. But no, it's, hey, the answer is ISOM 2. You're like, no, that's not the answer. There's better shit out there currently in the world we could be supporting. But this grifter wanted to come in with his fucking Blaze TV lantern. Like, no, the light's over here, guys. Come over here. He's stealing all the attention from actual good shit that's out there.
Now, do we know if the Blaze has done anything with ISOM? Because I've heard the accusation, but I've never seen any evidence.
Well, I mean, he's on that platform, right?
Yeah.
So
does he actually do anything over
still
there?
does stuff on Blaze.
He does still.
I don't know.
And when they first announced the original ISOM campaign, he had a whole segment on Fox News, like being like, oh, it was Brian Kilmeade being like, oh, there's a new anti-woke comic coming out.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brian Kilmeade of all people.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Who cares about
Crazy.
pronouns in video games? They already nerfed the bobs. You might as well be playing corn. So again, you're complaining about the nerfing of bobs, right? That's one of the parts where it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. That was one of the parts to, oh, it's not a big deal. Or what's the big deal?
Hey, you know
That's
what's
one of
better
the
than
parts.
big tits in video games? Big tits in real life. Spend half the time you spend playing your stupid fucking cry games, working on yourself, and you'll be amazed how easy it is to get a pair of wobblers in your face. Holy
Or
crap.
Go the more direct route, pay the entry fee to a strip club, and then pay some girl to just do it.
I mean,
There you
that
go.
works
That's
too.
capitalism. That's capitalism. Why work on yourself when your dollars can work for you?
There are wobblers waiting to be in your face. All you have
Right
to do is step up, pay up, stop giving Eric July your lap dance money, go to the strip club, get wobblers in your face, stop giving $60 for a video game with nerfed booba. Get some wobblers in your face. That $60 will get you wobblers in your face. It's way better than a video game. Wobblers in your
pronouns
face
just a
exist.
Quick reminder, everyone, like the stream if you haven't already, and then also I'm doing shots for every $50 level, and actually this next one is going to also be a zap. So I'm going to take a shot and do a zap, probably at the same time, as soon as we hit the first $100 level here. So help us out, help support the show. Click on the link pinned in the chat to keep it rolling, and if it's $5 or more, you're going to interrupt us. You can ask Matt a question. You can ask him about anything, boulders especially.
I'm an expert.
Yep.
Next step.
Did anybody ever do the Indiana Jones rolling boulder down the hill and you like running away from it or anything?
I don't, you know what? I'm sure someone did.
Yeah.
The funnier memes I tried to keep, and I still laugh at to this day. But there's a lot of low effort shit too that was just stupid. But I don't know if anyone ever did. I think it'd be funnier if somebody made me the boulder.
Yeah.
And then also made me Indiana Jones.
Two of you.
So then I would be killing my own career.
Oh my
Right?
God.
Like that would be funny to an extent. I can laugh at this shit 5 years later. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
The thing is
But
that
it's
we
like,
know
you survived.
We know Ralph has flagged way more people than you ever did. We know for
Not
a
just
fact.
me. Like it's not just him. It's a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, like it's all look. The name of the bullshit from 5 years ago was just like this. I was just the person of the week, month, whatever.
Yeah.
They moved on and everything else. And then nowadays, most people don't give a shit. I mean, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
Even like Jim has been largely fair with me. So it's like, all right, like if Jim's not on my dick, trying to kick my ass, then I think I'm largely okay.
I think I remember you, Jim, and Ethan on a stream, and it seemed like you got enough redemption
Best
on that
$3
stream.
I ever spent. Best $3 I ever spent was to send that fucking chat to Ethan and be like, I hate both of you and I'll host it. Okay. Paid my fucking
it's
mortgage that month.
Not a big
Yeah.
deal. What's the big deal? That they're there and you're forced to pick your pronouns in the game. You are. People like Lofty Pixels will tell you that it's not forced. Yes, it is. And it's right there. And yet people can't tell you why it's in there. They'll tell you that it's never mentioned again in the game, so what's the point of it being there if it's never mentioned ever again in the game? It's pretty pointless for it to be there if that's the case. But no one can really
Well, if
answer
you don't
why.
pick they, them, it won't be mentioned anymore in the game. He, him, or she, her will be mentioned. If you don't pick it, it's gone.
I think like it mentions it like a couple other times from what I've heard from people who have beat the game, where like they'll mention your pronoun, but it's like literally less than a handful.
But if you pick he, him, they're going to mention the he, him pronoun, right?
Yeah. No one's gonna pull you. Yeah, you're not gonna be tackled by UC Systems and be like, "What is your pronoun?" No, it's they them. You bigot.
Is they them the first in the picking, or is it he, him, she, her, then they them?
Oh no, they them gets kicked to number 3, right?
So
they're bronze.
You don't even have to. You don't even have to roll over
You
they
won't
them.
even fucking know unless you look. That's the thing, right? You click on it and it's like he, him, and then you go to she, her, and then you can
Enjoy
hit
a
once
dose of
more and it goes
shock
to they
therapy.
them.
Hey, to
hold
hell
on.
with that.
There you
It's
go.
time for Ben to get shocky and a sip of sake. Yeah, it's like the idea that you don't even have to scroll over to the they them and it's that big of a deal. Like this is supreme weenie behavior. These guys are serious weenies, and I understand why they need to complain about this stuff. Because if they tried to do any, dear Lord, yes, when Ben comes back, it's gonna be 3 shots, and $3 to the theater, baby. We got Monday Matt here. People have been asking for you for a long time too to come back.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard that.
God damn it, man!
Every time they'd ask, we'd be like, "Oh yeah, we'll reach out, but we're lazy." But it's good to have you. It's
it's great to have you back running again. Yeah, I gotta do this shit. Just pulling the hair back. Looks like more's coming. So how many?
We just got 2 more since you were gone.
So 3 total. 3. I owe 3
total.
Oh my god!
It's about to be a 3-shock sheeter.
Keep it moving, guys. I don't mind. I'm gonna keep this going all night.
Ben don't mind. He's got liquor and neck. Shock it out.
Yeah, plus I got all sorts of things I need to pay for that I'm behind on, and you guys are helping out tremendously. So keep it coming. I really need it. Really need it. All right.
I need it too.
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
Here we go. Oh shit! I gotta turn this up. I'll start it at 10%, and we'll work it up. So here we go. I'm gonna do the shot first, and then the zap. So. Oh!
Have you tried to drink while zapping?
I don't want to because I don't want to spit it out.
Have you ever worn that while masturbating? I think I just have to ask that question.
No. It does not arouse me. It is.
The idea is not to arouse you, but it's like as you're coming, just hit it, and then it just jolts your body.
I have never done that.
Ben's more into giving the pain to people.
Sure, yeah, but sometimes you got to test it on yourself first.
I'm so incredibly vanilla.
Why it's there in the first place. Dick, we know exactly who cares. Yeah. People like him.
Oh, yeah. I also have 2 more, don't I?
Yeah.
My brain was like, you don't want to do that anymore. Stop doing it. But I just remembered I got 2 more, so fuck it. All right,
sorry,
here we go.
Brain. Sorry, Brain.
The things we do to pay our bills.
Oh, he took the collar off.
No, you gotta leave it on, man.
That's how much it. That's how much it shook him. I'm looking over here at the recommended in Sturgis's Twitter recommends.
Gas money.
Shout out to my boy Charles Kahn, the masked bastard, here on the screen with the zipper, the zipperty doodah.
Here we go.
But
bring it up to 20.
20, Benny.
Okay, I tried it, but I swallowed after I got zapped because I don't want to do it while I'm swallowing because you're zapping your throat.
Talked about how Eric
you could probably die.
And all have they resemble Jared to an extent. Sturgis is probably the closet to Jared.
All right,
FK Struggies and Jared in the a-hole.
Struggies in the a-hole.
In the a-hole. Struggies. That's what we should call Sturgis now. Struggies.
Sturgis got a bad case of the Struggies.
Of the Struggies. All right, here we go. All right, now at 30%. Here we go. Okay.
Is this zipper picture transphobia? Is it transphobia?
What I find to be more interesting is that Ben is doing this while gas money is trending in the United States.
Yeah, I need
gas money. R.I.P. Josh, some like MAGA guy in a wheelchair, died, and they were like R.I.P. Josh, and half the internet was like, fuck you. We thought Josh Peck died. It's just this wheelchair MAGA guy.
Oh my god!
It's like pissed off people thinking Josh Peck died.
Actman and Angry Joe and Review Tech USA and Chief Keef and all the other bigger
I have to pick
YouTubers.
Pronouns. Western gaming is ruined. Oh no. But seriously, these alt-right gamers are pathetic.
It's just weird because,
However, if
like,
you hear me.
they have a pronoun and they want to be called that. So, but they act like all pronouns are bad, like acknowledging that they exist is bad.
Yeah.
If you give them power, they will overcome you. Them will overcome you.
I use them a lot.
Yeah, like it's something a lot of us use in our standard, conversations. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, those people over there, they whatever. But I always think it's kind of funny the way they act would be like if like with Starfield in the pronoun section, if this was Cyberpunk would do it better because it would be like he, him, you'd see a dick. She, her, there'd be there'd be a pussy, and then they, them would just be KENDALL.
KENDALL.
Like that's it. KENDALL. There you go.
Yeah.
I have a problem with Az putting his opinion on the internet. But I digress. Still obsessing over Eric July as usual. Oh wow, running an empty warehouse at a loss compared to any 3PL service is cutting into both your marketing and creating time. Who would have thought? Which I'm pretty sure he put this out before, but he seems to want to repost everything he ever says because, again, he wants people to re-see the same exact thing over and over again.
And this guy, literally, all of his videos would pull up the crowdfunding campaign and go through every single metric on it, and then he would go to the social blade of channels he doesn't like and go through all of their stats. So he does the same shit too.
He thinks it's going to change the interaction in it, which once again, you
Ooh,
have...
ISOM 3 has over 40 pages of pencil and ink complete.
Ooh.
And there's 3 pages of typos.
It's almost for sure that ISOM is getting his powers from Jesus. Yeah. And
the cross on his dick.
He goes into the hell dimension to battle demons, I believe. In the
Oh really?
Yes.
That's a very. I thought he was a grounded hero.
From what I heard,
I know he can't fly
because Dick Masterson got ISOM 2 and read it. So
okay,
yeah, and
I have not come across it yet in the wild. So I want to read it. It's one of those things where it's bad, but I'm like somewhat curious to see where it goes, hoping it gets better. But I'm just wondering, like, if he goes to hell, well, if Satan disrespects him, will we get an entire half comic just of him complaining about it?
Yeah, he goes into hell to save a nun, and he's like, "Fuck this nun! I don't care about this nun. Satan disrespected me."
Yeah, and then when Satan talks, he just sounds like Eric July.
Hey, yo, Eric July. I mean, I saw him. What are you doing here in my hell?
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna read all of Satan's dialogue in the voice of Tracy Jordan because I just think that I just think that's better.
1,300 plus followers, and you can only muster up 100 likes. That's not a good look for you. That's really not a good look for you.
He always does this. He's always like, well, what you said doesn't matter because you've got this many followers and you only got this many likes.
Good to see Matt on again. Maybe next time it will be when we have the annual Brad Jones visit.
Yeah, we do have Brad Jones on maybe like twice a year, maybe once or twice a year.
I don't know who that is.
The cinema snob.
Oh yeah, I've seen his stuff on Pornhub.
Pornhub?
Right? That's the guy. No, who's the guy that does it on
to get you
Pornhub?
drunk
I thought that
again?
was the.
Just
Matt thought you
pointing
said
out that I know
cinema
it's Sturgis,
snob.
but he does look
No,
more
no,
like
no,
a
no. There's a
Sturgis
guy.
than
There's a
Sturgis.
guy.
God, this coward is a ball licker.
He is.
He's a ball licker. Brad is on Pornhub. Alex says,
Is he? I had no idea.
Yeah, that's where he like
cinema
reviews porn
snob.
and- yeah. I've like it's just been popped up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of that guy before.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to review porn on Pornhub?
I mean, he's I think verified on there. People
Mother,
are just
my
like-
mother, I've wanted to do that for so long, but I thought I'd have to get like a proof of like the age of the video people I'm reviewing, like because you're supposed to have a proof of everybody you have. But I was like, how am I supposed to get proof of age of a video that's already
that's
out there?
verified through the people who made the video, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking current day adult entertainment, that stuff's all going to be like triplicate. Whereas like the Tracy Lords era was a little bit on the dodgier side.
Literally because of her. Like
yeah.
I wanted to review all those like weird clips of people that end up on eFucked. I thought that'd be so fun.
Like the one of the Russian couple who kills a bear and then proceeds to have sex on top of it. Like that
is the worst thing of the internet that hurt me the most of all time. The Shake That Bear. It was shakethatbear.com, and like all the one guy one jar stuff, the two girls one cup, all that was terrible and gross. But this one made me feel so bad for that bear. And then when they shook that bear on top of it, I was so hurt. I'm like, bear is one of my spirit animals.
About gender issues when they involve children. Makes sense. Puts pronouns in an adult 17 plus rated video game. Yes, again, back to the slippery slope where you were just complaining about the changes in the bobs in video games. Yet, again, that's part of the slowly incrementing the changes into games that no one wants to care about. Say, oh, it's not a big deal, or what's the big deal? Pronouns is the next thing, like I already stated. Destiny or July on a stream
Pronouns
together,
are not a big deal. Why do they think they're a big deal?
It's just it's like CRT a couple years ago. Remember when they all got up in arms at CRT? Even fucking Nerdrotic put out a video about a year and a half back, or about that, talking about Lord of the Rings before it was coming on out. And he's all like, they might even put CRT in Lord of the Rings. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Critical Role theory?
Sure, right? It's just like, oh, you've got a black dwarf, critical race theory. It's just, sorry, black elf. It's so stupid. It just shows you they just take the buzzwords that everyone else uses, throws it in for some kind of context, and that's why everyone's putting out this video saying Starfield is woke. It's totally woke. Yeah. I just murked a whole bunch of fucking space pirates the other day, and they were crying for help, but I didn't care. I still fucking executed them one by one.
What race were you?
Human race, motherfucker. Jesus.
Sicko, inappropriate.
Here's
inappropriate question.
Here's the Fox News segment. It was on Fox and Friends.
Store, comic book characters are getting a woke makeover. We've been telling you about this. But you have a new comic book publisher promising to ignore cancel culture, and it is paying off. Ripperverse's debut, comic book #1, Isom, is #1, nearly made $3 million already, showing no signs of stopping. Founder of Ripperverse Comics, Eric July, and artist behind it all of Isom, Gabe Abdullah El Talib, joins us now. Congratulations.
So yeah, and they get like a nice 5-minute segment. So yeah, this has been pushed as anti-woke, which they try to deny, but it's been pushed like that. And it's a Rippaverse with one character, one.
I just hate
series.
All the trash he's talked about the fats, and it comes to terms that the entire book was drawn by a fat son of a bitch.
Hypocrisy. It's a hate crime, Billy. It's
That's actual hate crime.
I have a feeling Eric July is a little chubby too.
I mean, again, have you seen those? Oh no, you had stepped out for a minute. There are some pictures that popped up yesterday of Eric that someone had like smuggled out of the warehouse.
Oh yeah, you know what? I did see those, and he looks all chunky, like he's got a big gut and everything.
Yeah,
Eric tried to show off his belly or show off his body, his build, but he wouldn't lift up his tank top. He was like, "Look at these arms. These aren't even my final form. Look at these arms." And then it's like, dude, show us your belly, show us your chest, you little puss. Don't flex and hide behind his shirt. Eric July has the body of a Waffle House chef.
Yeah, and that's from eating a lot of Waffle House, right?
Or from cooking it.
Cooking it and eating it. I'm looking for that picture.
He's not an athletic build. The most athletic thing about him is he always wears jerseys.
He's like Kevin Smith before the weight loss.
Yeah, right here, right?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I can't
That's
tell
not him though, is it?
That's him. Look,
It looks just like him. He's got a Rippaverse hat on. He's got the beard. He's got the hairy shoulders.
But
this
look
is
at
the most unflattering angle.
It really is, because it makes it look like he's fucking Quasimodo. Like, dude, I've got a barrel chest. I completely understand. Like, my body looks like it's built to fall off of Niagara Falls, you know. But this is one of those things where it's like, this is bad. This just looks. I feel bad because it's all like, is he deformed?
I don't feel bad because he's like, if you're fat, I don't even want to hear what you have to say. We have to have a fitness requirement to talk about Isom and debate whether or not it's good. So yeah, I don't feel bad for him.
He looks like the type of guy you go to sell a stolen laptop.
Who leaked this though?
Somebody must have got it out of the warehouse. I mean, they just recently put up job postings for it. And they're hiring like shippers, and they're hiring packers essentially. And so, you know, it's going to be, somebody is going to eventually get a job there just to troll, and they're just going to get as much info as they can and release it. I think at this point it's just,
It almost looks like it was taken from a security camera footage or something.
It looks like it's
does look that
zoomed
way.
in from a cell phone, to be honest with you. Security camera is even lower definition. It would be very difficult to, I mean, maybe it could be, but I feel it's someone who's just zooming in from their phone. But again, who did it? That's the question. And that's the mystery.
The new
right?
security people he hired.
That is a security camera angle, isn't it? Isn't that a security camera?
Well, there's
angle?
another, but there's another image. There's another one. Of him.
Okay.
I
In
haven't
red,
seen it.
That's a profile shot. And everything else. Let me see if I can quickly find it. I'll send it over your way, but let's see. Find it here.
And that's the security camera angle you'd want to have to make sure nobody was snooping around on your porn computer.
Yeah, you'd want to be able to make sure that it's definitely a thing with that. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm just going to. All right.
Like that's something a libertarian would put in the office to make sure people weren't sitting on the computer posting all day. Like we're gonna have a security cam angle of the computer.
I sent it to you, Ben.
On Twitter?
On Twitter, yeah, on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
There's a guy, you could probably tell Eric's the kind of guy that's like, look, social media is not acceptable while you're on the clock. And then, of course, he's just nothing but social media.
He's constantly doing it. Yeah, there is
Look at
another.
him.
Oh, my God. He's got that pregnant Jared belly going on.
I like picking up rocks.
I like picking up rocks. I like rocks.
I'm glad you like picking up rocks.
I keep them shits in my pocket.
So, like, when you mentioned that, you were just doing like landscaping stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I just said the funny thing about that whole goddamn situation was I don't know why I said boulders. I don't. I legitimately I was like, I thought I was just trying to be funny, because we had gone out to this like dairy farm like 20 miles south, and got like 600 pounds of rocks and stuff, and like they're just various sizes. And it's for a landscaping project. That was it. And then people just were like, but what it is though, is all these people who've never owned property or never really like had property. And they're just like, I don't understand why you would go collect rocks. And then like, because we're doing work on the property that we bought. So that's why we do
That's
it.
what it sounded
and
like
they're
to
like,
me.
but they're just like, right? They don't fucking get it. It just completely went over their head. And then it just became a meme. And I think it's funny. So fuck it.
Eric July looks like if Bubba never died in Forrest Gump and made it to the fucking shrimping ship.
Well, he's eating well because he's sitting on that pile of money.
He's like Shrimp Creole, Lieutenant Dan.
It is weird though, like the picture on the
Barbecue
right,
shrimp.
he looks like his neck is like coming out of his chest. You know what I mean?
It does. Yeah. I'm reminded of like Quado from Total Recall for some reason. Like I don't know why. It's just I feel like there's like that like hump on that back is just gonna come out like his twin.
It's weird. His fans talk about him like he's this physical dynamo that is just like so athletic and strong and tough that we should be afraid of him. Like the stuff we say about him, we would never say it to his face. They always say that. It's like, yeah, I would. I definitely would.
I absolutely would, yeah.
And then if he assaulted me, I'd have a millionaire to take to court, right?
So we are agreeing he's a millionaire.
I'm
none
joking.
of that money is liquid. None of that money is liquid. It's all tied up in his warehouse.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's 87,000 copies of ISOM 1 that's not being sold.
We'd be the owners and operators of a new warehouse.
I don't think he owns
Dallas,
it.
Texas, no less.
Does he own it or is he just like renting it?
No, he's renting it. You can tell. Like, there's no point in buying a warehouse.
The ISOM company has no like real physical assets other than the books themselves, right?
Unless they bought the warehouse
and the merch.
It all depends on like, because I know they're definitely like I think they're an LLC.
Yeah.
And so I don't know any other details financially about them because like the thing is they're never going to tell you. Like everyone kept saying, like here's the reality of it. We don't even know if that 3.7 million is legit. There's no way of knowing if it's legit. The $2 million that he just made off of this one, we have no way of knowing if it's legit. He controls all of the flow of information.
Yeah,
and
it's not a GoFundMe.
It's not a GoFundMe. It's a direct payment system. And so he can, he controls all that shit. And he's a private company, which means he doesn't have to have public tax filings. So we're never going to know the exact amount of money that he made. And he has no reason to tell anyone. I mean, this is literally the best thing he could ever do is be like, yeah, we did $3.7 million on this last one. And then they're like, oh, cool. Can we see the receipts? No. Just trust me. Just trust me. Just trust me. And then we're doing more, but it's like, we have no fucking idea if that's accurate, if it's up, if it's down. That's the crazy thing about it.
One thing we do know is that nobody has managed to shave his beard yet.
I want Riley to do it.
I can't believe Riley lost his fucking Twitter over that shit.
It's just snowflakes, man. All these snowflakes, right? All these guys that are just like fighting the culture war. One little bit of criticism, flag. I mean, listen, I can speak from experience. It's a bad move to go down. But still, it's like these guys are just ridiculously stupid.
These guys are keeping the culture war alive.
Yeah.
They're not even fighting it. They're hoping it doesn't go out. They're igniting it. It keeps them.
Well, they all hedge their bets. That's the best way to look at it, right? So you figure in this case of like the whole Starfield thing, the game was going to get 10 out of 10s across the board. It was already getting 10 out of 10s across the board. It's also a Bethesda game, so there's going to be bugs. We know this. It's not going to change. So what do you do? What do you do if you need to find a way to get angry, right? You find anything to say this is woke. So a little pronoun, a nothing section, a throwaway section of the game is now this big point of contention because there's really nothing else in the game that you can attack from that perspective. Oh my God, no, the game is designed to have fast travel. Yeah, it's fucking space. Like Jesus. It's
Dubs in the chat is questioning your 10 out of 10 ranking. They're like, 10 out of 10? I don't know.
Have you not seen like how many outlets gave this game a 10 out of 10?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, is it a 10 out of 10? No, but is it a lot of fun? Fuck yeah. I just finally unlocked the ability to start targeting parts on ships. And I'm going to be sniping motherfuckers and stealing shit. Space Pirate Jarbo is the name of my game. Drink up me hotties, yo ho. Right? My kids got fucking pirate hats and fucking patches while they were on the cruise ship. I'm just going to be rocking that while I play the game. Living my best life.
This cruise was worth every penny based on how you're talking about it. It was a very enjoyable time.
It was a good time, man.
I've never cruised, so I don't know.
I'll tell you this is going to be something completely like off whatever, but like, we had the kids clubs and both my kids went and everything else. And my eldest daughter, she's 5, parents of one little girl, both came to me separately to tell me how kind of a daughter I had, how warm and inviting and helpful and friendly of a daughter I had, because their daughter was under the age of 3. So she couldn't play in there on her own. Like one of them had to sit in there. But my daughter came over and invited the little girl into the group and played and everything else. And so that was the whole thing. Like, my kid was just being this awesome, badass 5-year-old and like looking out for other kids and shit. And that's fucking awesome. So yeah, it was good on that front.
You think I should tell my girlfriend's dad how warm his daughter is?
I mean, I would argue that would be like, you live in Washington, right?
Yeah.
It's the evergreen state. It's always wet. And just make a comment about that. But just find a way to slide it in. Just find a way.
She's not from Washington, though. I slide it in.
Wait, does she live here in Washington?
No.
So she's your internet girlfriend?
She's a space pirate.
That's a very odd way to name your right hand, but okay.
I made up the girlfriend, okay?
Not the first time you've done that, Billy. I guarantee you. I guarantee you not the first time you've done that.
I have a wife.
In a pinch, I fucked that donut chain I used to have, okay?
I have a wife. Until her husband finds out she's mine.
Well, that can work for you.
We got another guy that we like to watch. I'll play a little bit of him because he's another person we found because he's like a big Rippaverse fan. Right here, this guy.
Holler if you hear me, and welcome to tonight's edition of Art Uncensored. It is the top of the hour, 10 p.m. Eastern. We are here and together for this night, keeping the Final Fantasy VII train going. We are
hold on. You see the poster that's on his wall, right?
Orgasmo, yeah.
first thing I noticed was Orgasmo. I can't hate this guy. Like,
It hasn't been up there that long. Before it was Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
He
before.
changes it. He changes it regularly.
He changes it.
Oh,
He's
man.
terrible though. He's a terrible person.
I'm sure he is, but it's just you've got Orgasmo there. All I can think of is like, now you're.
I like Orgasmo too. I'm sure me and him like some similar things. He's fucking awful.
Oh, I know.
He draws shitty pictures of Playboy playmates with giant boobs and small heads. He's like a little weird, stunted man-child pervert. He's like Christopher Throbbing. He's just, he's a fucking character.
And if you go to his chat and say anything bad about him, his elderly father, who's his mod, will come after you.
Yeah, who he lives with, right?
Yes.
His dad, His dad, though, is constantly scoring chicks. Dad, did you go out and get some bar wench poon tonight? I'm so proud of you, Father. You make it really cool to be your boy. Let me smell your fingers, Dad. I'm proud to be your son. Dad, tell them in my chat how bad they are for picking on me. Dad, I love sniffing your fingers after you go to the bar.
Yeah. That was a good impersonation.
On now with the ladies of the franchise, or at least with this game in particular, there's the two we've got. There is Aerith and there is Tifa. So why don't we go off and do Aerith with our little lady right here.
He has a weird way of
sweet
speaking.
lady picking flowers with the magic powers. And
Look at that.
What?
Big tits, small head. Let's go.
there,
Dude, that looks like Aeon Flux at fucking artwork, dude. Like Peter Chung shit.
This is
right
Aeon
there.
sucks.
Yeah.
the,
I don't think it's that good.
Red. Actually, the colors
No,
I
it's
used
not.
here out of my Copics were
I like
shiny.
the dimensional weirdness of Aeon Flux, though. That's a good
I do.
comparison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strong comparison.
Yeah, I'm more inspired by his Prince Valiant haircut. Clearly,
Kendall's
the bowl
dad
was
never
lopsided,
asks his son if
but
he's
it
winning.
works.
Orange and peach for the red and pink ensemble of her little jacket with her dress right there. For those who specifically want to know, if you want to go and do a version of this yourself, there you are. If you
Is she holding
have
a
access to
clarinet?
Copics, because that really is something where Anything Man Skyber was correct. Years ago when he did a video where he did, it was him doing a coloring. He was coloring a cover sketch he had done. Somebody commissioned him to go and actually color us covers.
He talks about us like every day now, too. He's actually streaming right now. And
Nice.
he's doing his drawings. Those are interesting.
Drawings,
Those are
happy
interesting streams.
drawings.
Um,
Father, look at the giant boobied woman I made with a small head, Father. Do
it's
you approve of
amazing,
this
son.
woman? Yeah, I'm going to go to the bar and hump another heifer. Don't wash your hands, Father. I want to smell your fingers as you return.
So I do have a couple news videos. There's one where they're talking about why are fast food dining rooms so empty these days. Like, do you remember when you were a kid and you'd go into McDonald's to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody, like
No,
hardly anybody
I
does that.
I don't. Nah, I was picking up an order from McDonald's the other day, and I noticed that they turned the old like playroom into just like an employee hangout because like
Yeah.
no one else ever goes in the store. Well, the other thing is too is they're all like, at least in my neck of the woods, a lot of the times they're like short staffed. You know.
Yeah, it
And-
probably has to do with COVID, right? We shut all that stuff down for a couple years, and they never bothered bringing it back because the staffing never got bigger when they shut it down.
I mean,
Like
people just got
operate-
used to either ordering through delivery services, but even that's slowing down largely because of the inflation costs and like the rising prices and
Yes.
everything else. And there's that and the fact that a lot of people are just tipping like complete fucking dickwads. And I mean, like, look, I understand. I get it. I understand completely. But gas is like $5 a gallon, even down here in Olympia. So if you want that fucking McChicken, bitch, pay the fuck up, right? If you want to see Billy get shocked in the fucking neck again, pay the fuck up. This is how commerce works. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
We are $7 away from the next shot and a zap. So anyone who wants to put that nail in the coffin and watch me zap and shot again, feel free to do so. I don't even know if we need to
This is how
watch.
much he cares about you.
I don't even need to watch. I don't think we need to watch this video because we could. Basically, we just kind of summed it up. Yeah, it was COVID that kind of killed eating inside at fast food restaurants. And
It's not just that. I'll tell you what I think is one of the key things. It's not just COVID. It's the fact that it's so random and sporadic if a place is even open. You know, so like the other day when I drove up to Canada, we left really early and we stopped off, I think in like Bellingham to get a McDonald's, and we ate inside because it was like 6 a.m. and the place was open and it was clean and it was nice, and there was actually like
here for.
It is. And here
there
we
you
go.
Drinker for Ben. Little shocker drinker for Ben.
Yeah,
Drink, but don't zap if you don't want to.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep zapping. Keep
He's not a
donating,
zap, Bobby.
Keep donating.
That 7 before caught the zapper. Caught the zapper. But
man, I really wish StreamYard or whatever Streamlabs worked for fucking StreamYard. That'd be so nice, but just all I have is a YouTube fucking super chat shit, which is lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, StreamYard's nice though. I like the setup of it.
Yeah, I actually completely sidetracked. I did a volunteer bit for a domestic violence shelter, and they wanted to live stream an event, and I got kind of volunteered into it. And so we used StreamYard, and I just had 2 other people hook up their cell phones and connect in, and then they were moving around the room and recording while I was operating it from the laptop for like an hour and a half. I mean, the quality of the video was shit, but it turned out surprisingly well. And I had a blast doing it.
What you could
when I was streaming with Ice Poseidon, we filled up a woman's shelter.
What you could do is you could do a StreamYard stream and then run it through OBS and layer Streamlabs on top of it, and then stream your StreamYard through OBS that way. That's one way.
That might be something worth looking into.
It's like a workaround to it.
Yeah, I love StreamYard for what it can do. I really think it's a great setup, but it's just like the way YouTube is with the 30% is just bullshit.
Yes.
So it is, especially as like, anyway, yeah, enough about that shit.
Cheers.
Matt, as somebody who supports women's shelters, how fucked up was my women's shelter joke?
I mean, like I don't know. It was like 3 out of 10. It was kind of weak.
As fucked up or just not funny?
Just not funny. It was just kind of like we filled up women's shelters. Like, okay, like what's the punchline? Like the punchline would be you filled up the shelter, but the setup is like, where's the setup? It's just it's not a.
The setup was you saying that you did a stream for women's shelters.
Yeah,
and the punchline was that me and Ice Poseidon, being bad boys, filled them up with brutalized women.
No, I don't know. I don't think
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
That's still that's a $3 heater right there.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I had old people on the cruise ship. I told a joke to one of them, and they were like, "Why aren't you on stage?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't tried hard enough."
Mundane Matt and the old people. I like it.
No, like I'll tell you this. I'm on the elevator, right? Someone comes on in, and I ask, "Oh, what floor would you like me to push?" And they're like, "Floor 20," which doesn't exist. And I go, "Oh, you mean women's lingerie?" And then it was like 4 people in the elevator. They start kind of chuckling, and one guy just kind of leans in and goes, back in my day, we said the lingerie was next to the kids' toys. And I just said, well, usually one leads to the other, so I can see why. And then they just fucking all died laughing with that stupid ass joke. And the guy's like, why aren't you on stage? And I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, I'm telling you, man, I got canceled.
Like, I'm telling you, if you give me a polar bear puppet, we'll fucking talk.
Holy
dude, I saw like every time I go to Alaska, I try to take a funny picture with a polar bear. And like last year when I was there, I found this big one in Ketchikan, and I took a selfie with it, and I was like, oh, I met a fan. and then this time I was in Skagway, and I came across one in like a window, and I took a selfie with it, and it looks like it's like angrily staring at me. And I'm like, Jesus, every time I come to Alaska, this fucker finds me. It's really a dumb inside joke. I mean, it's you'd be amazed. You know how many people fucking tell me they want me to bring back Polly the polar bear, and they mean that like legitimately. They're like, just fucking find another one, dude. Bring it back. I'm like, what would I fucking say? Like,
well, I can think of one word.
Well, there are words to say that I don't say. That would. It's such a dumb 2012 era fucking internet thing. It's like
it was a secret word.
It was not a secret word. It was the word of
the word of the day. Okay.
I try to think back to like what prompted me to do that. Like I'm in the Dollar Tree and I just see all these puppets, right? And I see everything. And I see like just this polar bear one. I was like, yeah, what if I make this polar bear just say like really terrible things? And I did, and then I forgot about it for like
that's the worst
6 years, and then it came back up, and it's like, fuck.
There's so much stuff I said in 2012 that I regret that now I literally say something way worse every episode of Drunken Peasants. So when that old 2012 stuff comes up, people will think, oh, that's just Billy being Billy. It's fine. He does that on Drunken Peasants. He just did a joke about beating women after Matt Jarbo said he saved money for a women's shelter. I do these all now so that when my old stuff comes up, I look like
I don't think
the
that's
same
a good
old guy.
I don't think that's a reason to do them now.
I don't know. So far it's worked. You know how many
I know
times
it
people tried to cancel me with actual evidence for crimes I committed against them? And I'm like, no, it was obviously a joke. Like when I threw pee on Paul, people were like, you can't throw pee on people. I'm like, you can if it's a joke. It's a joke.
I kind of remember that happening, I think, right? Like I've been
It's
out
been
of
a
the
long
game for so long.
time.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
So I think the last time I was on the show was like Jimmy Dore was on here. I think it was the last time I was on.
Yeah.
And if you guys recall, we were talking about that Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Trump shit. And I said to Jimmy Dore, I'm like, watch, she's just trying to get that grandmother pardoned. And he's like, I never thought of it like that. Fucking 2 weeks later, dude, grandma got pardoned.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about the whole like Kanye with his pants down getting a BJ on a boat in Venice, Italy?
From Nick Fuentes?
No, it was
his wife.
Well,
that
his
looks like
wife,
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, she looks like she's in distress every time I see an image of her. But I just kind of at this point now I'm almost like, oh Kanye, you wild card, because he's just gonna do shit like that. He went from saying like the Jews control everything to going to Venice and getting a blowjob in the middle of the day in a canal.
Yeah,
and you're just like, yeah, okay. Like, how can you punish that? Like, there's no punishment for that. Like, what are you gonna do? Cost him another $1 billion? A lot of those deals are back on the table. Like, his fans are gonna buy his shit. Like, it doesn't matter.
Oh shit! I'll
A
show
broken
you.
clock gets his dick sucked twice a day.
Right here, you see like how she's in the part of the boat where if she stands up, she's at like stomach level with him, and in here you can see like through his pleated suit coat that his butt is just hanging out because he had his pants pulled down.
And these are paparazzi pictures?
Yes, dude, it is so.
Oh,
dude, it is. It's probably not all paparazzi because it's Venice, Italy. It's like one of the biggest tourist places in Europe. And there's people everywhere in the middle of the day here, all over, because this canal is heavy traffic.
This is Europe. People get sucked in
No, they
boats all the
don't.
time.
You've never
in
been to
Europe.
Europe. You don't know what you're talking
Let
about.
Let a man get his suck.
No, it's
I mean,
illegal.
I'm kind of in.
It's
like,
illegal, and he's
for a
actually
reason.
banned now.
Well, no, he's banned from the canals. He can't go back to the canals.
Yeah.
He can still
Is
do
what he's banned
anal
from,
if he wants.
You know how much you want to bet he'll do that in protest, right? He'll
Right?
just like steal a boat and then just do anal in the canal and just call it a day.
Honestly, if they banned me from the canals, I would fuck a woman against the Leaning Tower pizza until that son bitch was straight. You can't tell me what to do. I'm Billy the Fridge, aka Kanye too. Don't tell me what to do.
Their fashion sense is so hideous. Like he should stop. They should stop letting him dress himself. What's up with
He owns
those
a
knee
fashion
pads?
company, doesn't he?
He owns it, but doesn't mean it's good. Just because you own a fashion company doesn't mean it looks good.
They look like they might be Blade Runner people.
He's wearing like kick pads, like he's a luchador or something.
I don't even know. It's so hard to tell with these guys these days because all these celebrities are so fucking out of touch with everything, and it doesn't matter, right? We know this, that like the media will either protect them or vilify them for a time, and then everyone will just kind of like forget and move on. You know, I mean, like I've noticed the whole like last summer we had the whole Johnny Depp thing, right? Big event. You know, everyone. I mean, Ricada made hundreds of thousands of dollars in super chats. Now the narrative is shifting to where Amber Heard is now getting a lot more support after the fact, right? So it's like this weird pendulum keeps it. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just fucking this.
She was getting all the support at the beginning of it all, though. Like
she definitely got the support at the beginning, yeah, and that's what bit her in the ass is she decided to write that stupid ass op-ed, and everything else, and then you know. At the end of the day, I mean, I think Johnny's entire plan was to just fucking destroy her public image. Like, I think that really was it. It doesn't matter if he won or lost. He'll be hired in other things.
It's hard for her to she made the allegations that made him lose so much to begin with. So then, he's going to be like, well, this is what you're like in private. We have recordings of it.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't even really fault him for any of that, to be honest with you. It's kind of like, we live in this world where people will get fucked over and, both parties could be shitty, but it's like, we're always telling people, don't ever fight back. Don't ever fight back. Don't ever fight back. And it's kind of like what happened with me a couple of years ago. Like, everyone told me, just like, keep your head down, keep your head down, keep your head down. Don't do anything. Don't say anything. While like there were literally, this is true. Ethan Ralph had a Discord server called the Spike Club with 3,000 people in it that were actively going through all of my old videos and flagging each one.
Oh yeah.
And reporting it and everything else. And I was like, I had proof of this, right? I had seen it myself. I'd logged in through an alt account, saw it myself and whatever else. And I couldn't say anything because it wouldn't matter. It just wouldn't matter in that moment in time. So you have to just sit there and then take it. And that's how our society is. It's like you're guilty upon the first accusation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much is true or not.
Had a
you
lot
know what I
of
mean?
pals on Pal Me today, so I have some openings. Would Matt Jarbro like to be a pal?
Would you like to be a pal?
Jarbro? I mean, that's
pal.
You want me to be a bro?
Yeah, you're his Jarbro.
Pal. I don't know, man. I have enough weird parasocial relationships I have to deal with and shit. So
did that cross a new $5 or $50 threshold there? Or no.
You took that was a 250 one. You took the shot and did the
okay.
You took the zap. Yeah, I'm gonna help you out there. I'm gonna keep you. I'll keep track.
Thank you.
Because you look like your eyes are
keep
squinting.
you honest.
Yeah. All right.
I will say it's good to be a pal.
What about NTSC?
Ooh, I was gonna make the joke too. I was gonna sit there and be like, I don't know, man. Parallel alternating lines compared to NTSC is a little bit weak. But
for all of my fellow Zoomers, this is old media. They're talking about tapes. People used to watch movies on them before they had iPhones.
No. The format still exists. Like, in digital
I'm
form.
just telling the Zoomers.
Oh.
The Zoomers have no idea about any of this.
Yeah,
stuff.
Ben and I are clearly old. So,
Yes, I'm old.
You guys aren't old. You're just boomers.
No, we're. I'm a millennial. I'm sure we're all millennials
Gen
here.
X. Cusp Gen X.
To the Zoomers,
like a Zennial thing.
I don't care what the Zoomers think. They're dumb.
Well, that's a boomer thing to say.
Well, you're you're a boomer too. Then, so
as a fellow Zoomer mind, I have to translate this stuff to the Zoomers.
I don't care. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. If they want to be dumb, I'll let them be dumb. But it what they say shouldn't have to matter to me.
All the Zoomer fans right now.
We don't have any, and I'm fine with that.
We have 7 of them.
7 of them? Okay.
They text me all the time what the cool new Riz is.
I don't even understand what that means.
They're like, hey, what's up, BTFer? Here's the cool new Riz. And I'm like, thank you, fellow Zoomers.
I was watching, I was watching the new Turtles movie, right? Which is great, by the way. It's such a good film. But like, there's a line in there where like, Leo's all like, I guess I or like, look who's got the Riz now or something. And I'm just like, I don't understand it. But then again, they're teenagers and I'm well past that part of my life. So.
And you have to remember the original Turtles were saying shit like cowabunga.
Yeah.
like Riz is going to fit right into the turtle nomenclature.
Yeah, I watched a documentary about how a lot of that shit was created. Like the original creation of Ninja Turtles and then like how they created the animated series personas. And how they came up, I can't remember how they said it, but someone just came up with cowabunga. I think they were like going to Hawaii or something. And they heard someone say it.
Surfer culture.
Yeah.
Surfer culture was pretty big back then. I can understand why they'd want to like play upon that.
Whoa, bro. Yeah. And they wanted a character with like that sounded like Keanu Reeves from Bill and Ted, almost. There was a lot of characters like
Oh yeah, those because I think what was it? Bill and Ted came out 87, I think,
Something
the
like
same
that.
year as the first Turtles. So that was 5 when the Turtle show originally dropped.
Yeah.
So I mean, I remember watching that as often as I possibly could, and I still go back occasionally, rewatch old episodes here on YouTube. Love it.
I know that Raphael is cool but rude, and Michelangelo is a party dude.
Yeah.
But what do Donatello and Leo do?
Leonardo leads and Donatello does machines. And that's a
Is
fact,
that
Jack.
is that in the song?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the song. God, I
Yes.
never remember that part of the song. That's the fact, Jack. And when the evil Shredder attacks, these turtle boys won't cut no slack.
Teenage Mutant
Yep.
Turtles, Teenage Mutant. Yeah, it's good.
Do you
shit.
remember getting your first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy as a
Yes.
kid?
I don't remember getting the
I
first
remember it.
toy, but I remember having as a lot of toys and having the Ninja Turtle like clamshell case for them.
Yes.
and
that's
like having a
nice.
bunch of them and whatnot. That's why like one of my favorite characters that popped up in the new movie was Wingnut, because I loved Wingnut in the old cartoon show, and this was just like totally different version of Wingnut. But I was like, oh man, that's great.
So
Like, I love
Wingnut
it.
almost like
And
a flying pig or something?
it's like a flying. It's a bat. It's a bat.
Oh,
A bat
okay. It was a
is
bat. It was a bat. Okay.
Yeah. The pig is Bebop.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The warthog. Yeah. I remember Wingnut from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fighting game for SNES. Wingnut was one of the
That
characters.
was a good
in that.
fighting game. That was the very first fucking game I had for the SNES. Was my dad took me to Toys R Us and was like, "It's your birthday," and he's like, "I'm gonna buy you an SNES. And what game do you want?" I got the Turtles fighting game, and man, I played the fuck out of that.
My first Ninja Turtles were.
Bill is
Heyo.
beautiful and right about everything.
Thank you, Zoomer fan, for your $20. We're so close.
Thanks for
$18
proving
away
to me how smart you are.
with money. Somebody should
Money's
get smart
good.
with money and just donate it straight to the Zoomers. That's what we need, where they appreciate it. Give us some of your Zoomer crypto. The what's this one? Hold it, that's a lot. Hey Matt, it's been ages since I heard your voice. Glad to hear you again. What are your thoughts on Ethan Ralph getting his ass kicked twice in Portugal and getting custody battles and legal trouble? The guy is a total loser Nazi. From Alexander the Resurrection.
Thank you very much for that. Man, it's fun. It's really fun. Part of me, like the dad part of me, kind of feels bad for Ethan because it's like to not have his kids in his life has got to really hurt. Because I could,
But it's probably good for the kids, right?
It's amazing for the children, like to just not be in that environment. But it's also like that is part of why he does what he does, is because there's all that anger and that lashing out and everything else. At the same time, he is an objectively terrible person who has no issue with trying to destroy the life of anyone that he possibly can. And fuck him till the end of time. When he finally does peacefully sunset himself, the world will in fact be a better place. I don't know about you, but I'll be celebrating.
But third, he is fat, so we should give him the benefit of the doubt.
What I want to know is whether or not his gunt is separating to become two different people. Like if his own body is just like, I'm tired of being around this, so I'm now trying to build up a way to get the fuck out.
Oh,
like that's what I don't get. But yeah, it's just no. The thing with Ethan is just like he's got nothing to say anymore. He's got nothing he can do. He can just holler. That's about it. And then if you press him, he'll quit. You know, you just press him on it, he'll quit. And that's the best part about it. If you can force a little bitch to quit, look, say what you will about me on that bullshit from 5 years ago. I didn't quit.
Yes.
I
You
stayed
stuck it
there and I
through.
took the fucking lumps. As hard as that shit was, I took them. I didn't quit. I didn't bail. All right. But Ethan is just, it doesn't matter. Fucking runs, cuts and runs, man. That's the fucking strength of character we're talking about here.
He,
I might have been an
interestingly
idiot.
enough, though, does have upswings. The last thing he did when he called out Nick Fuentes and all that, the internet kind of liked him again. They were
I
like-
was a little pissed off about that, to be fair, and that was just because I'm like, you fucking idiots, like goddamn well this is not even about Fuentes. This is about disrespect on his part, right? Look, in Ethan Ralph's mind, Ethan Ralph is Avery Silman, like he's Isom in his own mind. All right, if you disrespect him, it doesn't matter what's going on. He'll find a way to tank you the best he can. The thing is, though, like Ethan, all he has to go after, because America First has a lot of haters, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's also very much tied into dark money. We know this. A lot of crypto goes into it. A lot of that stuff somebody is funding it. Somebody higher up is funding it. And it doesn't matter what Ethan does. It doesn't matter that Nick Fuentes probably has gay sex with a Capoe. It doesn't matter.
The whole thing might just be a brothel for these Republican conservative congressmen to hump little twinks. These superstar little twinks.
Yeah, it's Pizzagate, all but real. No, it's kind of true. I mean, like a lot of these guys, if you think about it, these are young, impressionable men who don't have a strong father figure. And here comes someone like, Nick Fuentes, who acts kind of like a Pied Piper. Just listen to me as I tell you about how the Jews control.
He's not a father figure, right? He's 100% Peter Pan.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's Peter Pan.
These are Lost Boys and Peter Pan.
Yeah. And then he leads wherever he's leading them to. I still somehow think is going to be Jordan Peterson's basement, but I don't quote me on that because I have no evidence.
Is that why Jordan Peterson's crying because his basement hasn't filled up yet?
Maybe. I don't know, man. Like Peterson, did you see the thing with Peterson the other day when he was on Theo Vaughn's podcast and he talked about the story of the Rat King?
Yeah, which pisses me off.
Because it's from Skyfall?
That doesn't piss me off. It pisses me off because an actual Rat King is so badass, and somebody who's supposed to be an intellectual should know about what a real Rat King is. And never talk down on the fucking badassery of rats being so mired together that they can join at the tails and become one entity that moves in unison and dies and carries along corpses. It's so sick what a real Rat King is. And he's like, oh, you know what a Rat King is? Or I think a Rat King is one. I can't even do a good Jordan Peterson voice right now because I'm so pissed.
Try to do Kermit the Frog. And then you'll be, like Kermit the Frog here. So a Rat King. I can't keep it up.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
He told me the Rat King was a creature that when their rats are in a pit, they fight to the death. That's Skyfall. You're quoting Sky or Spectre, you son of a bitch. James Bond, you asshole. But I think the real thing is that
I don't think it was Spectre. I think it was Skyfall.
Was it Sky? I have no idea.
It was Skyfall, yeah.
I don't know. My favorite movie was Spectre, but my favorite James Bond movie was Skyfall.
For one, how the fuck can you actually have that goddamn opinion? Spectre is okay at best. But then again, I haven't watched it since it came out, so I do need to give it another go.
I was joking, by the way. I haven't seen either.
I'll tell you this. You know what I haven't seen is No Time to Die. I haven't watched the last one yet.
I only watched Casino Royale.
That was fucking excellent movie.
Yeah, I really liked our guy from the movie Layer Cake.
Sure. Here's the thing: if the next time you watch Casino Royale, immediately follow it up with Quantum of Solace.
On the DP podcast,
they pair.
A tip train arrives. Viewers sharing their love and supportive strides. Carriages of generosity, linked so tight. As the tips keep coming, the show shines so bright.
I pictured Lanny Poffo reading that. As the genius.
Thank you for that cringe dono, Zoe. Zoe's a shark.
Yeah.
Zoe's one of my fellow sharks.
So like West Side Story.
I've never seen that movie.
There's two.
I was thinking
there's two Puerto Rican street gangs, and one's the Jets and one's the Sharks.
Oh.
It's just Romeo and Juliet, but modernized for was it New York?
Me and my Zoomer friends watched Meg 2 instead. That's our shark movie. Is Meg 2.
Nice.
Have you seen Meg or Meg 2?
I haven't seen either of them. You know what I watched on the cruise ship 4 times in a row was Legally Blonde.
What were you doing? Was it a family thing?
It was because my girlfriend wasn't feeling well and I put on Legally Blonde because it was just a movie. They had a good selection, but that was just one I hadn't seen in a while. And I watched it again and I'm all like, for one, this is the Barbie movie that we needed to get, but we got it 20 years ago. And it still holds up. It's still really, really, really fun. And so she just kept replaying it. It's short. It's a very short movie, and everything else. I watched The Flash, I think, on board 3 times. They had The Flash on there, yeah. So I watched it a few times.
Why 3 times?
Because I just put it on and I'm like, all right, and I was putting my kids wanted to watch it again.
You've watched plenty of movies 3 times.
But not The Flash.
Okay.
Dude, you don't even want to know how many times we watched Rio and Rio 2. Like almost all of Blue Sky's collection was on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
We just needed kid movies. I hadn't seen Rio in years. Liked it.
That's fair. Kids watch stuff over and over again all the time.
But I did watch Once Upon a Deadpool, which I hadn't seen yet.
Yeah, the PG-13 version.
And
of
it was
Deadpool
good.
2.
I was really surprised at how funny that was. Like how they made it work as a PG-13 film.
Now? Zap Zap Ben Pie.
Zap Zap. Zoomer Zap's right there.
Why did you do that? I didn't say you were dumb. I just said how smart you are. No one is always right. All right. So if you're gonna make a statement in absolutes like that, I just think you're a sycophant who doesn't actually listen to what Billy the Fridge says in a critical and honest way.
I appreciate you putting your money where your mouth is. There's a lot of people out there who give us money, and I think they're all right.
Who's dumb now? Zap Zap.
Another one? Why'd they send two? I never said you were dumb, by the way. I would never do that.
Maybe they were dumb and hit the button twice.
I never said they were dumb.
Now, back to this Barbie movie thing here, Matt Jarbo. Are you talking down on the great film that is Barbie?
No, it's a fine movie. I had no issue with it. It was pretty entertaining.
It's a very great film, and since you have no issue with it, we can stop right here. We don't have to go any further. The way you said Legally Blonde was the Barbie movie we deserved, I'm like, wait a second.
I've never seen
the Barbie movie.
Let me explain this. My 5-year-old comes back into the cabin. We're watching Legally Blonde, and she goes, "Oh, the Barbie movie." Right off the bat, dude. The 5-year-old immediately looked at Elle Woods, looked at the outfit, and was like, "Barbie."
Yeah,
there you go.
The Barbie movie is why she did that. The Barbie movie explains why she thought Elle Woods
to the Barbie movie, and she was like, "I don't know what this is."
Yeah, because the Barbie movie changed the world the same way the atomic bomb changed the world.
Right.
There's a reason that movie came out the same weekend as Oppenheimer. We had Elle Woods because of Barbie, the Barbie doll, and the cultural relevancy of opening up the box that was Pink Dora's box.
Isn't Legally Blonde a musical now too? Didn't they turn that into?
Yeah, they did a musical. They've also done a third film that's a direct to DVD movie.
Ooh.
It's like Legally Blondes. It's about like Elle Woods like twin cousins or something.
I can't believe they even do. Does that still happen? Do they still do direct to DVD now? But or now that streaming is around, everything just gets put up on streaming.
Yeah, sometimes like a couple years ago, Netflix put on their Sudden Death 2, starring Michael Jai White, which I need to see because Sudden Death was the old like late 90s Jean-Claude Van Damme Die Hard ripoff. If you guys remember that one of the hockey tournament game. At the stadium where like the terrorists take it over and he's like the fire marshal.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Dude, it's fucking good. It's Jean-Claude. It's Jean-Claude. Is what it is. Check it out. But they did a sequel to that one a couple years ago. Dolph Lundgren starred in Kindergarten Cop 2.
Okay, that sounds dope.
Apparently it's not terrible from what I saw.
Dolph Lundgren is money, and a sequel to Kindergarten Cop 2 sounds like money. Like, how do you fuck that up?
I don't know. I never watched it. It was released, I think through Universal or something, and it just was right to their home video market. So, that's the thing people don't realize is so many movies are made every single year, and the movies are shot like. Remember when Cabin in the Woods came out?
Yeah,
that damn movie was filmed back in 2009, and they shelved it for 3 years.
Thank goodness they had Chris Hemsworth in it. That would never would have came out. And it was a great movie.
It came out right after Avengers cracked $1 billion. They're like, "Hey guys, do you like Chris Hemsworth? Would you like to see him in a horror movie?"
Yeah, and yes, we would. And yes, it's amazing.
Great movie. It's
probably the greatest Cabin in the Woods movie of all time. I'm trying to think of what would
like Evil Dead
usurp it for me. Evil Dead's great. Evil Dead's great.
I mean, Evil Dead 2 is better than Evil Dead, in my opinion. But
but it's also Evil Dead revamped, right?
Yeah.
Like Evil Dead 2 is just Evil Dead done better because Evil Dead was done with such a small budget.
Yeah, it was done funnier and done like Three Stooges.
And then we
Titan
saw how
Titan
great
Titan.
Evil Dead 2 was, and it turned into Army of Darkness, which was not even a Cabin in the Woods movie.
Yeah.
But it's good. The entire Evil Dead franchise is great, but something about a Cabin in the Woods, it makes it like a supernatural sci-fi conspiracy horror that somehow ties in every horror movie. It's so brilliant.
My favorite cameo in that movie was actually the Cloverfield cameo. It wasn't the Cloverfield monster. It was the little like ticks on the side of the monster. You see it very briefly in Cabin in the Woods. It's such a good movie. But just to let you guys know, this camera is going to die in probably the next few minutes, so I might have to dip out.
All right.
You know, have you done your shot and your zap yet, Billy?
Benjamin.
Oh, you mean
yeah, Ben.
Oh no problem.
I
Yes, I did do it.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep you on point, man. Get you that money.
I appreciate it. It's working. I mean, like we've definitely done very well because we were like 4% when we started. Now we're at 38. That's pretty great.
Hey, some nights are better than others.
It's Money Matt right here. That's what it is.
I did a Boulder Talk Radio last night for 2 hours. Don't know whatsoever. And I was like, whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna go play more Starfield. You know, some nights you do well, some nights you don't. Did you guys see DSP apparently was complaining about like how like no one had contributed one day and he's just like super upset about it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's
he
a regular
also
thing,
lives
right?
in Washington. It's like, bitch, just fucking if you want a DoorDash code, I'll fucking hook you up.
I invited him. I invited him over to my studio at my house because I had this plan where I was gonna get him over here and play him in Street Fighter 2 and just like spam tactic him and beat him really quick, and then be like, I'm the greatest player. Or the second greatest Street Fighter player in North America, or whatever his claim was. But he told all of his audience that he was going to be on our show, and then the ones that troll him and like kind of control what he does got into his head, so he never ended up doing it. And there ended up,
I said, don't go DSP. That Ben is just going to spam attack you and claim he's the champion of Street Fighter.
Yeah,
that's the thing, man. Like a lot of these online personalities do just want to stick in their own little bubble. You know, because like it's so much easier. Like if you've got your audience that supports you and they stay and they keep you afloat, you don't really have any other reason to branch out. I think it's fun to branch out. I like going on confrontational podcasts. I think that shit's fucking fun.
Matt, have you ever seen The Guyver with Mark Hamill, like the live action adaptation of an anime called The Guyver?
I never did.
A lot of people are going back and watching it because it's almost like giant robot type Power Ranger type stuff, but with gore in it. You know?
Okay.
Like an R-rated.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Is it on Tubi?
I don't know. It's out there in some. Actually, I think it might even be on YouTube for free these days.
Okay.
Like someone uploaded.
I love Tubi. If you guys haven't ever fucked around with that.
Yeah. We're actually gonna do we're gonna do a movie review this month of The Guyver 1, and then we're gonna do The Guyver 2 next month. It's gonna
people
be
say The
insane.
Guyver 2 is even better.
Yeah, people are saying that. We might as well watch the first one if we're gonna watch the second one. Though.
Yeah. You know,
and
some
then
people said that Legally Blonde 2 is better than Legally Blonde, and you know, you gotta,
what about Godfather 2
go
and Godfather?
How the fuck would I know? I've never watched them.
Wow, and you're like a big movie buff.
That's more than a $3 theater ticket. Those are long run films.
I mean, not now.
No, I own them. I have the Blu-ray box set. Right?
But you've never watched them?
That's even worse.
It is worse. It is worse. I have a problem with buying a lot and then never watching it.
I mean,
so like, it gets bad.
Isn't that recognized as one of the greatest movie series ever?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, number 1 and number 2. It's you know, number 3 gets a lot of shit.
And
but
people debate which one is better, number 1 or number 2. Like it's not clear. Like it's pretty split. Which one's better?
Well, I think it just kind of depends. It's like people who like to argue. Like same thing happens that you could even say with like Star Wars, right? Star Wars or A New Hope versus Empire. You know, like
some people
think
say Return of the Jedi is the best one.
Listen, that's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. People who fucking look, people who fucking shit on the goddamn fucking Ewoks need to fucking shut the fuck up.
They hated
Those little
that.
cuddly bastards,
Well, I mean, like,
they're fucking guerrilla fighters. They fought for their fucking country.
Well,
Fucking
let's be
damn.
real about it though. Like at the time, the Star Wars
Yeah, they were-
merchandising game was so huge, they needed like a little plushie that kids would want to buy. Yeah. But yeah,
I was one when that movie came out, so I grew up with all of that, like just being on home video and like just watching them, in order. So like, never cared. Like it didn't even dawn on me till I was older that people were like, I fucking hate the Ewoks. I'm like, how could anyone hate the fucking
I didn't hate
Ewoks?
the Ewoks.
It's so weird.
That was the first movie I ever saw in a theater, and like my parents
Me
took
too.
me.
But I don't remember it.
Yeah. I don't really remember it either, but I'm a bit older than you, so I kind of remember, but I don't remember like sitting there and watching the whole movie. I think I might have even fallen asleep during it.
The way my mom tells the story is that when she took me, I was a little over 1, and she was like, we thought you were gonna cry because babies cry in these fucking movies.
Yeah.
And she's like, but you didn't cry. You just sat there and stared at the screen like the whole movie. And she was like, you've never cried at movies or made noise at movies. I'm like, yeah, because they're fucking awesome.
Man, I'm not gonna cry. Movies are fucking.
When did it come out?
I remember. No.
It came
I
out
remember
in
being
May
so
of
mad.
1983, so I would have been 2 years old.
Yeah, I was a little over 1.
Yeah,
when that came out. But it's like I remember when I was 5. My RoboCop was coming out.
Oh
and
my
I'd
God, yeah.
seen the ads for RoboCop, and I wanted nothing more than to see RoboCop. And my mom was like, I don't know. It's a little bit violent. You may not be able to handle it. So she then goes on a date with some guy I don't fucking remember, and they go to see RoboCop. And she tells me this, and I was furious with her over this. I just want to watch fucking RoboCop, and you're gonna go see it? What the fuck? Anyway, she calls her friend to come over and babysit. Her friend's boyfriend comes over, and he rented a movie. And you know what movie that was? Bloodsport.
Oh, you know what though?
So we watched Bloodsport, and I was like, I'm fine.
There is more like crazy. I would say there's more crazy violence in RoboCop than in Bloodsport.
Oh no, RoboCop is absolutely more violent, but
Yeah.
Bloodsport is a classic
yeah.
unto itself. It's like that was the first movie I remember. Like we watched the first R-rated film I ever saw was that one.
Was Bloodsport a canon film? Like canon films?
Don't remember if it was. It wouldn't surprise.
There was a couple good canon films, like Over the Top.
Zap
You know what the fuck I
Rosdower
had?
pointed out that the Ewoks were losing until Chewbacca came in with the AT-AT.
Oh.
Well, Bigfoot always saves the fucking day. So Jesus Christ, dude.
So you mean like full size Ewok saves dwarf Ewoks, basically?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, Bloodsport was produced by Canon Films and released by Warner Brothers on February 26, 1988.
Have you ever seen the little web comic where Indiana Jones was in the Northwest and he saved the Sasquatch from an attack, and that was the origin story for Chewbacca giving his life debt to Han Solo?
The Snatch Squatch.
No.
It was a cute little web comic that I read. I was like, that's so cute. This is so sweet and cute.
It's like the old little anime of was it Bambi meets Godzilla? You ever see that one?
No.
Cartoon. It was so you can find it on YouTube. It's like a minute and a half or whatever. I first saw it when I watched Godzilla like 1985 on home video. It was in front of that movie.
Like Bambi the deer?
Yeah, it's just all it is it's just Bambi eating like plants. Some classical song plays, and then eventually Godzilla's foot just crushes it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it. You can look
Poor
it up on
Bambi.
YouTube right now. I know, but that was it. It was just Bambi meets Godzilla. Little
It's a
short.
classic animated short.
Look out the Bambi into the Tino!
You know what I miss? I miss when fucking Spike and Mike were like the big edgy animated source, right? That was where you would go to get the crazy of the crazy. And I feel like they haven't been around in a long time. I miss that.
Where do
guys
you
ever
go to
watch
get edgy anime now?
YouTube, Netflix? I mean, that's all Netflix does for adult animation is just fucking anything that's R-rated and edgy. like Paradise PD, fucking Big Mouth, you know.
Big Mouth.
It's a good show.
So, Big Mouth is a CIA. It's a psyop to turn our kids into awkward little perverts.
Which many of them already are. So go figure on that.
When I was growing up, we were not awkward. We were top tier pervert kids.
Because like when you and I were growing up, and I'm sure Ben can relate as well. We had like Playboys that we knew where they were hidden. There was like you knew where there was a stash.
My dad kept his stash in my bedroom.
That just sounds like child abuse.
Well, the story is he used to have my room. They switched rooms because there was a glass door in the room I had, and they were worried I was going to slide out at night. Mm-hmm. And so when I moved into my dad's room, they left this giant chest in there because it was like a TV stand. So my TV was on there. The chest was full of Playboys. I don't know if he did that on purpose or what, but they were just in there in this chest.
I think people just tend to forget that they're there. Like my stepdad had like stacks of them in his closet, and I forget how I came across them, but I was like, I took one out and I like was reading it, whatever. And then like I got afraid to put it back because they came home early, and I was afraid he was going to know that I took it. So I hid it underneath my bed for like a week, and then I burned it. Like I waited for the.
Was it because the pages were all sticky? You didn't want to get caught?
Because I just wanted to destroy the evidence. So I'm like, I go through like the medicine cabinet, and I find like hairspray and nail polish remover, and I'm like tearing out the pages, and I'm just like crumpling them up and throwing them in this wood stove that we had, and building.
You know what issue fire. It was? Can you remember the cover?
I don't remember the cover. It was, I think, a red cover. I mean, that's with like a, I think it was like, I want to say like 1988 is what I wanted, somewhere in 1988.
Yeah, 88 was the range of Playboy magazines that were in my chest.
Like a lot of very tasteful bush.
This was when Vanna White was on the cover. This is when you had who was the woman with was the mole on her face? She was making
Cindy
her way.
Crawford.
Cindy Crawford. Yeah, Cindy Crawford running through. It was a nice little run. The late 80s P-boy run. Late 80s Playboy run.
Did you ever see when Vanna White was on The Price is Right back in the day? Like when she was a contestant?
No.
Yeah. Before she did Wheel of Fortune, she was on, because they probably just like saw her in the crowd, and like picked her out. Here, I'll show you.
She was doing what all the other wannabe actors and actresses were doing. You go up once a year, you can get in the crowd and try and get on TV.
There she is right there. That's Vanna White.
That's Vanna White?
Yeah, look at her, see?
Burning his dad's porn megs was not on my 2023 bingo card.
For real.
Let's see what
we all have our stories.
I think they...
Did she win?
I think we missed when they call her. Let's see. Let me... I'll play the audio on this.
This is most exciting hour of fantastic prizes. The fabulous 60-minute prize is
Hour of Power.
Michelle Fraschetti. Come on down.
This music. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So classic, so iconic.
Giddings. Come on down.
Holy shit. Red tie and matching suspenders. That's power. I want pie.
And I think she's the next one.
And Vanna White.
Ho.
You are the first 4 contestants on The Price is Right.
Yeah.
What is this, like 19-year-old Vanna White or something?
1980. June 20th, 1980.
Holy shit. I think I've been fapping to Vanna White for 40 years.
Still, you still do?
Hell yeah, to this day.
She was 23.
Yeah.
In that clip.
Hot shit.
Vanna. $430. Jackson. $395.
I think she gets up here. I think she...
$750. $750. She says $695.
I bet she does say 69.
The actual retail price is $620. Maybe.
Oh no, maybe she doesn't get
Damn.
it. Yeah, I guess she didn't. Maybe that's as far as she got.
Wiped.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sucks, and she never did anything ever again. Loser.
Yeah, never. No. She had a real small guest appearance on Married with Children a few years later.
Huh.
She did. She showed up. There's an episode. It's in the 90s, but like she pops up in an episode. I think she even gets in lingerie in that one.
They could never make Married with Children today.
Yeah. So here we go. Vanna White appeared on Married with Children as Coco/Helen Granowiner, an old high school girlfriend of Al Bundy, who makes a romantic proposition to him in the season 7 finale.
Oh my god!
So season 7. Wow, season 7. That's when they had fucking that kid. 6.
Yeah.
God, that killed the momentum of the show.
Did 6 come in season 6? Was that why the name was 6?
Let me see here. 6.
I think his name was 6.
His name was 6. It was 6.
Because Jenna Von Oy's character from Blossom also was named 6. So there was like a weird thing in TV going on in the 90s.
Oh, don't forget about 6-Pac.
6-Pac?
Yeah. That was X-Pac when he was in WCW. His name was 6-Pac.
Oh no, it's not 7. It's 7. It's not
7. Okay. So that was season 7 was 7, but he was debuted in season 7 and they named him 7. Was that it?
Yeah. His name was Stephen Wanker.
Oh god,
I like that name.
Yeah,
well, that's his real name because Peggy Bundy's family name was Wanker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's Wanker family. Yeah, she's the child of Zemus and Ida Mae, as well as the cousin of Peg Bundy, who eventually becomes his informal adopted mother. He appeared on Married to Children in total of 12 episodes during season 7. And then that was it. 7 episodes, and then he was. I think did they just like get rid of him?
Yeah, they were like, by the way, because he wasn't really their kid. It was like an adoptive thing. I think they might have written him out actually. Like it was sad that they sent him back to his family.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Amanda Burse also admitted that the introduction of him was when the show jumped the shark, which I would absolutely agree with. I would absolutely agree with that show. And also, I never really cared for the series finale because the series finale of Married with Children wasn't a finale. It was just like the end of a season. Did you guys ever remember that one? It was a 2-parter where Kelly got married.
I don't remember it exactly.
Yeah, it was she gets married. She was gonna get married. Everything falls apart in the end. She's single again. And then she's like, all these guys are basically just wanting to fuck her. Typical Kelly Bundy, right?
Yeah.
So then so the show ends. So then like about a week or so later, David Faustino is hosting Mad TV's first season. And he does this little intro and he goes, oh, we just wrapped up season 11 of Married with Children, which makes me think that they shot season 11 thinking that the show was not going to be canceled. And that they just wrapped it up with the finale, and that's what it was. I always thought that was really weird because, like, I love Married to Children. It's a classic show, but it did fall off in the later seasons, I think.
Do you think they should bring back Married with Children?
No.
I mean, I think they could.
Well, they could, depending on like, okay, with the success of, let's say, the 90s show on Netflix. You know, like you could see that being a thing. Fuller
House,
because
we could have Divorced with Children, and it's David Faustino raising kids, and Peggy and fucking Al are babysitting all the time and shit like that because he's divorced.
Yeah,
it would have to be really fucking hardcore though. I don't think we could have Kelly Bundy back because she's going through way too much, right?
Yeah, she's got I think she's got multiple sclerosis or something, or
it's really bad
really
where she's at.
Yeah. And that's terrible, and that's absolutely terrible. But
they're bringing back Frasier next month.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's gonna suck. They're not even bringing it back to Seattle. What's the point?
Yeah,
it wasn't even filmed in Seattle.
Right. Well, they filmed one episode in Seattle.
I grew up in Seattle, and I knew Vancouver better than I knew Seattle from watching Seattle in movies.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, they're moving them back. Whoever's rebooting it decided to move them back to Boston, and they're gonna make like Lilith a bigger part of the show, and there might be some Cheers cameos, but most of the rest of the Frasier cast is not coming back.
Well, I know John Mahoney is dead.
He's dead, and no Niles, no Daphne, no Roz. None of them are coming back.
Really?
Yep.
No Niles? What the
No
fuck is
Niles.
David Hyde Pierce been up to?
He's doing something. He declined. He doesn't even want to do like a cameo on it. So what they're doing is they're focusing on Frasier and his son. But there's a different, like the kid that played his son in the 90s isn't coming back to play that role. They found like a new actor to play it. And there's a couple of other new characters. But the only like established characters are Frasier, his son, and Lilith, basically.
I mean, what do you think? I don't know how Bebe Neuwirth is. I mean, I like Bebe Neuwirth. I enjoyed her as Lilith. In the original Cheers show. But it's like, if you're just gonna do Cheers cameos, then just fucking call it Cheers. Just find a way to bring him back. Bring Ted still alive. Rhea Perlman's still alive. You know, most of them are still alive. Bring him back.
You think Frasier's son's gonna be trans?
No. They've already filmed it, and I know what's happening in it. But no, I thought that might have been the case because the guy who attacked Vito at that Netflix protest is the guy who's rebooting Frasier.
My favorite episode
Yes.
of Frasier is when he made a cameo on Star Trek Next Generation.
He did do that. Yeah, Kelsey. Well, you know what's funny? Kelsey Grammer did a cameo on Star Trek, and Patrick Stewart did a cameo on Frasier. And the Patrick Stewart episode of Frasier is so great because Patrick Stewart's character is the head of the Opera Society in Seattle, and he's gay and thinks Frasier is gay and thinks they're like in a relationship, and Frasier knows this but doesn't want to tell Patrick Stewart's character that he's not gay because he doesn't want to lose his opportunity in the Opera Society because he wants to like be part of it. So he keeps like acting like he might be gay to like keep interest, and all of his family's like, you got to tell him you're not gay. He's like, I will, but after I get into the Opera Society. And then like things keep happening that like start to like push his boundaries a little bit. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Almost every episode's like that.
I was gay for 2 weeks in the summer of 1998 to get free corn dogs at the AM/PM.
Yeah, something like that. Oh,
yeah. It's not so bad.
Yeah, corn dogs were tasty.
Yeah.
Every Frasier episode, not literally every, but most, are built around like a misunderstanding. Like someone assumes something but doesn't clarify it. So they go on the whole episode like assuming this when it's not the case, and it gets awkward. A lot of it's like that.
That's usually
It's like every sitcom, right? Or something like
it's also
that.
every episode of Drunken Peasants.
There's an episode where Frasier meets this like a super famous model on an airplane, and they like go on vacation together and they hook up, and they're like kind of a thing, but she asks him to like not tell anybody because she's like going through a breakup or whatever. And then he tells his whole family about it, and none of them believe him. And they think he's going crazy because he keeps like saying stuff about it, and they just think he's like lying and like losing his mind. So then the next time he sees her, he tries to take her picture while she's sleeping, and she wakes up and like goes off on him and leaves. And then his family shows up after she leaves, and he's all like heartbroken about it. And they still think he's just fucking crazy. And then at the last minute, she storms back in because she forgot something and like tells everyone what a piece of shit he is and leaves. And then he's like, well, what do you think of me now? It's great because they're all like, they thought he was full of shit the whole time, and it turns out he's telling the truth. It's great. I don't know.
That's what he deserves.
That's where I feel like we don't get sitcoms like that kind of anymore. Like sitcoms have just largely sucked for years.
Really? Like Big Bang Theory?
Well, Big Bang Theory, as I like to say, is just nothing more than nerd blackface. That's all it is. It's just, no, I'm not even making that up, man. Like, it's true. Like, the primary demographic were CBS viewers who are largely elderly.
Big Bang Theory was smart people for stupid people, and Community was stupid people for smart people. We have good sitcoms. We have good sitcoms. We have I think Modern Family is good.
Modern Family, definitely the first like few seasons.
That's
of
a
it
different
pretty
type
good.
of sitcom. That's like the single camera sitcom.
It's like the documentary,
the Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
Malcolm in the Middle kind of started a new type of sitcom. And they even kind of pointed that out in WandaVision when they were going through like the types of sitcoms. Like they started off with like I Love Lucy or like Bewitched type stuff, and then they moved, and then they moved to the Brady Bunch, and then they moved to what else?
It was like the first episode was the 50s, so that was like the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah.
The second episode was the 60s, that was more like Bewitched. The third episode was the 70s, that was
Brady
more
Bunch.
Like Brady Bunch. Then you get into the 80s, and the 80s is more like Roseanne. Not Roseanne. It's like it's not Roseanne. It's like a like fucking Family Ties type shit.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because there's a scene in one of the episodes where like they're fighting each other at the very end, and it's treated like on this very special episode of WandaVision.
I just
sort of
remember when
thing.
they got to the 2000s, it was Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, and it was a great parody of Malcolm in the Middle. Like, you know, that was really good. The Modern Family one was pretty funny too. I think WandaVision all the way through was really excellent. I mean, just well done. I had a blast watching it, and but it was really
In
interesting
Malcolm in the
how they
Middle,
approached it.
I always wanted someone to ask what he was doing when he was breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, I mean, then we kind of saw The Office do the same thing where they'd like look at the camera all weird, and then they would talk to the camera too. That kind of started the whole like single camera genre of sitcom, which didn't exist before. I don't think it existed before Malcolm in the Middle, and then we got like The Office after that.
I think there's been like some other shows that were in the 90s that were kind of like that, but they didn't really go anywhere. I mean, The Office obviously kicked off like Parks and Rec, which was meant to just be a complete like a complete reimagining of The Office, but with all the same character types.
Was Arrested Development before all that?
Yeah, Arrested Development was in 03.
Yeah,
That was like The Godfather.
Yeah, they definitely have the single camera. Do they do the breaking of the fourth wall thing like they do?
No, it wasn't so much a breaking of the fourth wall. I think they were like, I got to go back and watch it again. The first 3 seasons on that show were fucking glorious. The Netflix stuff was not good.
Somebody mentioned Scrubs too. That is like a single camera sitcom.
Yeah,
Pete was the first single camera sitcom.
Pete and Pete, and they talked to the camera in that because older Pete would like kind of like narrate to you.
Yeah, Pete and Pete was groundbreaking.
That was very
I never watched it.
Wow.
I never watched it.
It was like early 90s.
Let me explain why. We used to have cable television, right? And when I was a kid, and then like my parents like, well, we don't need this, so they just got rid of it. They killed our cable package the very week that Comedy Central came out. Like, so I didn't get a lot of those shows like Nickelodeon, all that stuff I didn't get. It wasn't until like the late 90s when like I'd go to friends' houses and we'd watch like, you know, fucking South Park. That's how I saw South Park, was like going to a friend's house and watching what they recorded. So all the cool shows on Nickelodeon, like Erie, Indiana, all that shit, never watched it. Never, and didn't have access to it.
My local cable package didn't offer Comedy Central. It pissed me off. All the South Park I watched, I had to get from Suncoast Videos on their fucking South Park release tapes.
You know what? I got sent that guy we were watching earlier, the Eric July fan who had like the page boy haircut. One of his fans drew a picture of me and Billy. They just like because he's always talking about us now, and in the picture we're holding hands. Me and Billy are holding hands like this, like yeah, like that. And we're wearing shirts, but we're not wearing any pants or underwear, and our dicks are like curled together like this. And I look like I shave my pubes, and Billy has like this crazy bush, like this out of control bush. But one thing they got right was I have a beard. Billy, it does not look like Billy at all. It kind of
Where is this drawing?
I don't want to show the dicks on stream,
We should put it in the gallery on the Discord.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Is it that hyper realistic?
No, but I still don't want to do it.
Isn't it always funny when people actually do draw Rule 34 of you? Like in that, because I've had that happen for me. Like back a couple years ago, people were drawing a Rule 34, and someone drew me completely nude, jerking off in one hand and holding Polly the polar bear puppet in the other hand. And I was like, "Wow, you're really generous. Thank you."
Somebody censored it for
with Polly the polar bear.
Somebody censored it for me, so I'll show it to you now.
Oh no!
So like have, I will say they think we have huge dicks because the dicks are like the size of our arms.
Well, it's because they're holding hand in hand.
Monkey.
See, that's you in the blue shirt on the left, and that's me on the right.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
obviously me.
Can you see your bush?
No, but I mean, like
it's so
it's a big bush.
I don't think that's a bush. I think that's a beautiful curly-haired woman giving me.
It's not
fellatio.
It's not.
It's actually, you know what it is Eric July's arms.
Oh no. Eric July, no.
It's his arm hair. So he's clearly jerking you off behind that censored.
Well, this is art. Kendall's got a
art uncensored. Holler if you hear me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Kendall's fans are as talented as he is. That's awesome.
Oh, you know what? Someone pointed out. Yeah, it shows me taller than Billy, so that's another accurate part of this. Man,
yeah, of course.
This is like photorealism.
To be fair, though, Billy is at an angle. Which could
oh, you sound
offset.
like an Eric July fan now.
Yeah, what's happening here is that I'm leaned back getting dome from a curly head babe.
A
so it
chicken.
looks like I'm shorter. But I'm actually sitting getting dome from a curly head babe. Getting domed up from a curly haired babe. A beautiful babe.
You just gonna keep repeating that till it's funny. That
he does that a lot.
Sexy, beautiful babe. Yeah, obviously I had a bad spine day in that picture.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Someone's gonna draw the lines. Someone's gonna draw the lines, the green lines, whatever the fuck that is. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Power lines.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm like, I don't understand this. It's stupid shit, to be honest with you.
Somebody should post the picture without the frickin' chicken in it in the gallery so I can see our hogs clapping hands together.
They're like holding hands in the picture.
I want to see our penises go to
there.
There you go. There you go.
And you got just like out of control bush. And then I've got like hardly anything, but my legs are all hairy. My legs are super hairy.
Totally not a curly haired girl giving me dome.
No, it's
it's in the gallery of the Discord. Our Discord.
Am I in your Discord?
I don't think
I
so.
cleared out a bunch of them.
Here's what I'll do, Matt. I'll send it to you in the Skype.
Yeah, send it to me on Skype or whatever is fine.
I can.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not sure how to open up. Oh, there's the chat. Okay.
I say, or just post it, like send it to me on Twitter or something.
Check out this cool wiener pic of Ben and I holding wieners and holding hands.
They're like
physics don't work that way for dicks.
You mean dicks can't wrap around and give each other
dicks
daps?
can't fucking emulate the famous meme from Predator.
No way, we can pick
that's
up
what it
peanuts
looks
with
like.
our penises.
It
Speak
looks
for
like
yourself,
that.
Jarbo.
Jarbo?
Yeah,
Belly,
we
I
pick
didn't
up-
know you were uncircumcised. You've talked openly about how you very much admire your foreskin.
I'm packing a derm. No, I definitely am. I am circumcised.
Yeah, we were born in an era where like hospitals just did it. Like I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't have that situation.
It was very common. It was very common for hospitals to just like do it like for no real reason. It was very normalized at the time. Whoa.
Yeah. Can you guys still hear me? Because
yes.
It's I told you my camera.
The
died.
camera died.
The camera dies. Yeah. So.
Oh no.
But I probably should get going anyway. I have to start prepping my stream and check on the kids. So, it's good times, obviously.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for hanging and banging with us, Matt. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hope everyone out there had themselves a good time getting Billy drunk and zapped.
Yes.
Not Billy Ben. God damn it, I'm fucking tired. It's been a long goddamn
It's all
week.
right, homie.
All right.
Oh no! Wait.
No, he's here.
I saw the penis pop up. I was like, what happened? I thought I did something with the penis picture, but
the night is young.
That's later. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have yourself a good one, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Matt Jarbo. You can find him at Matt Jarbo on the Twitter and
on Twitters.
His movie podcasts are fun.
$3 Theater.
I watch them.
I wanted to show you some of the new Cobes stuff too. By the way, show's still going. We're not doing a post show. I'm working on ideas for the post show. Oh, I might as well say this too. I haven't got a chance to go over this yet. For those of you who are interested, we do a monthly merch thing for everyone out there. It's at the $33.33 level on our Patreon. With that, you get all of our perks below that. So it's actually a value if you're already a patron. And we're doing a new sticker. It's based off of the classic Smoke Pan Everyday t-shirt, which was our super popular shirt back in the day. This is a big sticker. It's like 5 inches. It's 5 inches long. I'm not sure how wide it is since it's like a rectangle, but yeah, it's a decently large sticker. I'm also offering to have it signed to send to you if you want it or if you just want it as a regular sticker. We can do it either way. Just sign up on Patreon at the $33.33 level, and this can be yours. And yeah, I'm still doing zaps and shocks for every $50 level. We're at $322, so it doesn't take much more to get us to that next level here. I'm working on getting... All right, there it is. Phew, that works better. All right. Oh, yeah, and check out the pre-shows on all your favorite audio platforms. I also have it linked down below. The last pre-show was pretty sweet because it was Ghastly doing the pre-show with us, and then the one before that is when I had all the Canadians in here. So you should go back and binge watch or binge listen to all of those. Let's check out the Cobra. He let's see what this is all about. I like the mustache. Cause like the way his beard was, it was almost like he was trying to hide like a chunky face, but he still has a decent jawline. You know, like
yeah, it's a good looking look. I hope he sticks to it.
Yeah, maybe grow the mustache long. Maybe pull off a Hogan. You know,
I don't know. It's not a bad mustache. I think he should maybe start shaving his head too. I think it would be interesting to see him with a shaved head.
That's going to be a little difficult to talk him into.
I think for enough money.
I don't know. And I think he'd grow it back
for an hour, arms crossed.
Like
barely any interaction to be seen, just sitting, waiting for donations.
I will say, like, if you decide to go like clean bald, there's a lot of upkeep associated with that, and he would have to like reshave his head like every 1 to 2 weeks, like consistently. And he doesn't even like change his clothes consistently. So I think it'd be pretty hard. Like, you might be able to get him to do it for a little while, but I don't think it would last. I think his hair would grow back eventually. There'd be a lot less of it too.
Once he realized how attractive he looked, he might keep it that way.
I don't think so. I really don't think so, because he, you know, like, there's other basic hygiene things he doesn't do that he knows he would look better if he did. So I think it's like keeping a schedule like that and keeping like consistency is difficult for him.
I think it's a good look for him. I want to see it.
Yeah, it would probably look good. It would probably look good. It's just a lot of upkeep.
Do a quick little stream. Could be better, could be worse.
This is a middle of the road.
Thank you for your $1.22 to Cash App. Meet some hoes, smoke some bowls, and fuck the trolls. Thanks, man. Yeah. I agree. Fuck the trolls. Well, some money would be nice, but you don't have to donate.
Arms crossed
Bills
until
first.
money is paid.
No, why?
That
Just because I
hat
want
looks
to hang out.
expired. He needs some real
Thanks,
alcohol after
Roman,
that
for your
fucking
$1 to Cash App. Roman wants to hang
rotten
out.
juice mess.
I will shave my mustache for $765 on camera right now.
So you are $765 in
Even if
debt.
I can't grow it back right away.
Fuck that.
Thanks, Lucy, for your $1.
They are like the ultimate smartasses in there, I've noticed.
$1, the PayPal. It's not e-begging when people pay for a shout out.
Congratulations on moving from your dog collar.
I'm not
to
pouting. I'm just smiling at the camera for you.
a choker.
Fuck the trolls.
Everyone's a
Go
troll
live for an
unless you
hour,
donate.
Just kind of hang out.
Just hanging and banging.
Oh, I am doing something. I'm paying attention to chat.
That's
Toby
most definitely
250,
what's up.
Jeremy's doing all right.
Yeah, this guy Jeremy, God, he's like so crazy looking.
Did we watch Jeremy on the channel or what?
No, we didn't get to it. Like I was trying to watch there was a few shows we did where like I started watching Cobes and like people were just talking too much, so I couldn't keep playing it because it just like the subject would end up changing and whatever. So we never ended up getting to the part of the video with this
I've
dude
heard
in
he
it.
was content.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Rasta Jeremy has been around for a while.
Just keep practicing, Clarence. You'll get there. Thank you for your $1, Trenton, for your $1
Is it Cobb's
Cash App.
job to keep track of Jeremy? Cobb's is busy trying to get donos. He's not stupid. He has no idea Jeremy got arrested. He's busy. He's living his life. Great content
Thank you,
today,
Chad, for your
King.
$1 to Cash App. Fuck Cyrax. I'm not shouting him out.
Oh.
He's a piece of shit.
Oh.
That's what I thought, bud. My trolls need fucking help. Jesus Christ. Dalton, thank you for your $2. For how's Ellen doing, bud? Ellen DeGeneres, I don't know her personally, so I couldn't tell you.
He got them. They were talking about Ellen Knight, but he totally no-sold them and brought up Ellen DeGeneres. Clever Cobes.
Block. Dalton, you got blocked from my Cash App. Nice pirate hat, loser.
Someone's out
to
of
talk shit
booze and
on
money.
Ozzy Osbourne. It's like, shut up.
Do they not DoorDash booze anymore? Can someone DoorDash him some Bush Peach? Come on.
I talk shit on Ozzy Osbourne. I don't need your dollar that badly. You know what I'm saying? You can get blocked. My children are such fucking losers, dude. It's hilarious. Some porn star named Sabrina wants to meet me, huh, Cal? Or thank you for your $1 to PayPal. I highly doubt
Do we know
that.
more about this Sabrina porn star that wants to meet Cobes? Is this a troll? Do you think Cobes would be against doing porn as a career?
Special. Unless you count my Asperger's. Between my trolls and my disgusting ass teeth, I'm like, yeah, chicks are really chomping at the bit to want to hang out with Cobra. Am I the guy from Dodgeball? No, I'm not, but thank you for your $2. It's because my trolls have the shittiest of lives, and they see Cobra crushing it, and they're just like, I can't stand it.
I wonder how much a King Cobra porno video would sell.
It would sell, but then it would just
Right?
get pirated, you know?
Yeah, but like I wonder if it would be worth it to like for a company to offer him like 10 grand and like 2 or 3 hot goth chicks and then make like a video around it, like make the Cobra doc that everybody tries to make, but interspersed with porn. Like would that be worth the company putting like 20 grand into?
Maybe.
Like, how dare you, Cobra? But thank you, Gabrielle, for your $5 to PayPal. She writes, that's what's up. I'm not going to shout
And
out
would Cobes
war.
do it for 10 grand? He's kind of done some OnlyFans content, right? Boggy Nights.
He was like tricked, right? I don't remember.
I know he had a OnlyFans though, didn't he? Wasn't he talking about it for a while? I don't know if he ever did anything on it.
And all, Dan, because war is a horrible thing, but thank you for your $1. I don't have any wine left, but thank you for your donation.
It's a horrible thing.
Don't have any wine left, Josh, but thank you for your $1 holler. I drank all the homemade wine and it.
Oh my God! The entire story to the King Cobra porno vid would be all these things that go against the Cobra commandments, trying to have sex with him the whole video, and he turns it down the whole time and fights them off. And for his efforts, he's rewarded with 2 hot goth chicks. It writes itself. Have Cobra karate scenes in it. Oh my God, that's so good. The undead rise up and try and bang him, and he has to fight them off. A hot porn star dressed as a dog comes in. He's like, no, dog. And the dog porn star like tries to hump him. He's like, no, dog. That'd be so good. And then a twin version, like a hot version of Cobra that is his long lost sister, Queen Cobra. JFS tries to hump him, and he's like, no, not you, sister. No. And he has to get her stuck in the dryer to get away from her. This would be so good. Oh my God. I gotta talk to Wang and see if he wants to fucking bankroll this and co-produce it with me. Holy shit.
Not gay and I'm straight. Darian, but thank you for your $2 to PayPal. This is why I don't have to worry about turning on donate to talk shit, because they'll do it anyways. Because they're fucking obsessed, dude, my trolls are. If you think my stream is so boring, why are you watching? That's what I want to know.
Well,
like, no one's forcing you to watch Cobra's videos. You sit there and leave a nasty comment in chat, hoping I'll freak out about it. And it's like, dude, what's your fucking problem? No one's forcing you to watch my fucking videos, dude. Oh, I may hop off stream and do a cooking video. And film it up close with the phone. No, I don't need booze, to be honest. I really don't. I do enjoy my alcohol, but trying to cut back on that. And I made a pretty solid effort, you know. I've been drinking less and less. And I actually feel a lot better because I'm not drinking as much. You know, plus I get a buzz quicker.
Young buzzer.
The lead singer of Smash Mouth died of liver failure at 56.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my wake-up call, you know, like... You know, do I want to be 56 years old and, you know what I'm saying? My trolls need help. Don't even respond to it. Watch what happens when your trolls text you some really fucking nasty shit on stream and you don't even respond to it because they're not worth your time. I did not shout him out. That was a different person with the same first name. Read the comment section, stupid. Turn off slow mode. Give me enough money and I'll do it. Quit giving everyone the side eye. What are you talking about, Darian? But thank you for your $1 holler.
The side eye.
This is my point. I could be sitting here doing a camera video for y'all, hanging out live. And it's not good enough. I don't get hangovers very often. Don't even respond to it. That's just going to piss him off even more. It's like, what the hell? Cobra's not even responding to his trolls anymore. Literally, saw your number, block, delete, ignore. Because I am better than you. I don't have to go out of my way to fucking harass you nonstop. You guys don't have to donate, but it is appreciated.
$765 to shave that
A lot of
mustache.
fucking people blowing up my phone. Holy shit.
That would be interesting to see him without any facial hair.
How much money do you need? And did you hear Jeremy went to jail? No, I did not. But thank you, Slade, for your $1 holler. Appreciate it. No, I didn't hear Jeremy went to jail. I thought he did the one time. Kyle, thank you for your $6.66. For Pretty Lively this evening, Cobra. That's what's up. For sure. What's going on with your left eye? I have no idea what you're talking about. Where's Jeremy? I have no idea. People are saying he got arrested. I hope he didn't. Philip, thank you for your $1 holler. There is no such thing as a duster string. I'm actually trying not to do that stuff. People are fucking miserable, dude. They're just jealous of my fucking hustle. But yeah, I appreciate all of you donating to Cash App and PayPal in the last hour or so. It's really beyond appreciated. It definitely makes a difference. But I'll catch you guys later and keep rocking.
Ben, how much to get us to have crew cuts?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I make way too much money off of having long hair. $5,000 wouldn't even cover.
Yeah. Who wants to pay us that much money to see us in crew cuts? That just seems over the top. Yeah.
The amount of riches I'm showered with for having curly hair far outweighs $5,000. I would lose money shaving my head for $5,000.
All right. We are probably going to wrap up in a minute here. If everyone could please like the stream one more time, that always gets more people around to watch. And we did really well tonight. We're at 40% of the goal now. We grew a lot. We're going to be back on Saturday. And
for those of you that are still here with us, what I want you to do is after this stream ends, go into the comments. Go into the comments and tell everybody your favorite flavor of cake and the most annoying YouTuber you watch.
Yeah, and we are we'll be back on Saturday. We're going to have your favorite son back on again. It was a good time the last time we had him on, so I invited him back.
Yeah.
So I will see
in the YouTube comments, guys. Make sure to do that the second we're off air.
All right. I will see all of you guys next time. Here we go.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.